Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Follow Everton. It is another Premier League watch along, back by quite literally popular demand, because we have been asked numerous times, almost every stream, "Hey, you doing a watch along? Hey, you doing a watch along?" And some people think, we should do one for the Everton matches, but I don't know if I'm quite ready for that, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, when we watch these other games, people seem to love it. And so I am here for you guys. And right now, we got a little scuffle actually, right on cue, right at the beginning. Can't even get my thoughts out before Brighton and Forest have quite a shoving match. We're only 3 minutes into this game. It is 0-0. And tensions are mounting for both of these guys. Look at this viewership. I love it, going up very, very quickly. Welcome, everybody. Please jump in the comments. Let me know how everyone is doing today. How's your confidence levels? Um, who we rooting for obvious reasons. I think we're all Brighton fans, to say the least. What's up, the Blues? Good to see you, my man. Mr. Davo, good to see you, bud. We're ready to go. It's gonna be a good day, I think. I don't know why. I've got a weird confidence boost about today. Maybe because I'm on a ton of adrenaline, a bunch of coffee, and very little sleep. So maybe that'll do it. Polly B, what's up, my mate? Just getting going in this Forest Brighton game. I think, sorry, I've got my order of games mixed up here. I don't even know. Let me jump in and see who's coming on next. I know we've got two 1:45 kickoffs and then a 2 p.m. kickoff. So the late one is City and Arsenal. That's what I thought. So in the middle of that, we've got Chelsea and Brentford and West Ham and Liverpool. Forest are in, by the way. That's more of an early threat than Forest have given in a while. Not really a chance, but it's we got the ball in the final third and they've almost got a shot on net. And I know that sounds very, very simple, but Forest haven't given us much of that lately. So smash that like button, smash the subscribe if you haven't already. As always, we'll be pushing that. We've just hit 2,000 and we're all quite excited about that. Evening, M's, good to see you. What's up, my man, Wezzo? Good to see you. Sorry to hear it's early in the day. Yeah, bud. I have never had a normal sleep schedule pretty much in my entire adult life. So it just is what it is. I'm kind of okay with it. Oh, it's on net. Okay. Brighton appealing for a handball. We're 5 minutes in, and Forest have looked more threatening than they have in a while. To be fair, though, I didn't watch their game at Anfield where they did put 2 goals in the back of the net. So um I doubt I will cover much. I'll give you score updates of West Ham and Liverpool today, but uh quite frankly, I'm not arsed to watch that even in the slightest. And I don't really see me covering much of Chelsea and Brentford either. I'll give you an update. For the most part today, it's going to be Forest, Brighton, and then the City Arsenal game, which I'm just intrigued from a footballing perspective because, quite honestly, the league pretty much rides on that. So, in virtuoso, barring some weird miracle, whoever wins that game is going to win the league. So, in terms of a league final, that's pretty much it. Jazzy, how are you? My condolences, by the way, for having to put up with Ryan all the time. Thank you, Wanderlust. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you, my mates. All right, 6 minutes into this one. Brighton seemed to be fielding a full squad. I know so much more about Brighton's squad this season than I did last, mainly because I've really stepped up my fantasy football game. And Brighton have been a fantasy treasure chest for a lot of players this season, with the likes of Kairo Matoma, Solly March, Alexis McAllister, even on defense with Pervis Estupinian. Although the defense has been somewhat shaky. Look at Forrest. Forrest on the break here. It's a 2-on-2 with Brighton really reeling back. Brennan Johnson on the outside of the box that's in there. Not really mishandled as much as it's more defended by Brighton, but still Brighton looking somewhat shaky. Forrest with a little bit of pace early in this game. Not exactly what we want to see. But again, it's one we've kind of seen this in Spurs from Forest at times, and you do see them run out of gas somewhat quickly. So we'll see if this can last. Come on, Brighton. What kind of world? What's this come to where we have to be massive Brighton fans in this sort of game? It's kind of sad, isn't it? Let me fix my picture here. It's a little bit faded. I don't like that. Green screen issues. What a life. First world problems. Quality scouts. You're right. Hey, listen, from an organizational standpoint, it's a corner in, by the way. Tell you what, Forest have come out firing at the City ground here. See if Brighton can weather the storm. It looks like they have, and here they come on the break. A little bit on the counter. Here comes Matoma down the left side. It's handled well. It's handled, well, somewhat well. That could have been a call either way, but we shall see. Yeah, it was mentioned, by the way, if you haven't checked out our match preview earlier, please check out our archives. Ryan and Amy do a great job previewing the match with Everton and Newcastle this coming Thursday, but more so they touch on the fact that no one's really out of this. You know, Wolves and West Ham likely safe, but they can easily be dragged back into this. And the same goes the other way around. Forest, nobody's out of this. Forest put together a couple wins, even though they haven't really looked the part lately. They're right back in the thick of things. So it's going to be an interesting finish. Here come Forest again, by the way, in the final third. This is more time than they've spent in the final third, probably than the entirety of the match against Man United. It's a bad giveaway, and that might be a penalty. That is. We've got a penalty to Forest early. Wow. And it's given by a Estupinian. Wow. The Nico Williams, the defender playing up in the attack. That is not what we want to see early on in this one. It's an awful giveaway by a Estupinian, and then it's just a clear foul. It's a penalty. There's not really much of a question. Hang on, let me get a little bit of a better angle. I can't really tell by that one. One angle looks very clear. It's kind of a leg twist. I don't know. It's tangled feet. I can see the argument both ways, but the penalty's given, and I don't. Well, okay. It's very, very clear that a Brighton defender has just called the referee fucking useless right to his face. So there's that. And then another one's asking him if he has eyes. You know, I don't like this. The Brighton players are really surrounding the ref and giving him an earful. I'm surprised the referee's letting all this go without giving a yellow because he's taken a lot of shit from these people. I'm no lip reading professional, but it's pretty obvious what these players are just yelling at this ref. This is bad. Brennan Johnson steps up to take the penalty, or as Everton make him look baby messy. Hey, look, it's a buddy.
Whoa, that was out of nowhere. Right, I need everybody's assistance and opinions before things get serious.
Uh-oh.
This ring light's proper bouncing off me specs in it.
Well, hang on, we've got a penalty about to be taken. I need you to give it like a minute.
Are you watching Forest and Brighton?
Yeah.
I'm also watching Forest and Brighton.
Okay, well, I'm on 10 minutes and 22 seconds.
Oh, I'm on 9:38.
Okay, I'm going to spoil this for you only because I've built it up as a penalty. So
I'm so sorry.
Then after that, though, I'll sync up a little bit. But Brennan Johnson set to take this penalty. Steps up, and it's saved. What a save. Wow. Fantastic save by Jason Steele. He guesses right. It looks like borderline full extension to the right side. Amy jumps in. Our viewership jumps immediately by 30 or 40 viewers, and then she steps. Oh, there she's back. Okay. Amy, you jumped in, and our viewership doubled, and then you stepped out.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
Apology accepted. It's a great save, though, by Jason Steele, the keeper for Brighton, and it's still 0-0. To be fair, it's not an awful penalty, but it's also not the best from Brennan Johnson. He will want it back. Brighton feel that they were a little bit robbed on that one in terms of it was kind of a tangling of legs in the build-up to that penalty. I can see the argument both ways. One angle looks a bit more clear than the other for both sides, quite frankly. But nonetheless, the penalty was given. Not much of a check, if at all. You had about 5 Brighton players really giving the ref an earful. I'm surprised no one got a yellow, and if they did, I missed it. Nonetheless, it's 0-0. So as an Everton fan, we survive a little bit of an early scare. But more importantly, Amy,
Hi.
What's the haps? How are
you? Is me lighting okay, or is everybody missed?
No, it's fine. Yeah, your lighting's fine.
I can't turn the ring light on because it bounces off me specs, and then that's just a joke.
Never seen you in specs. Great.
I know. Hi, this is what I actually look like.
Actually look. Oh, so you doll it up for the streams then?
I just take my glasses off when I'm in public, and it feels public.
I've heard you describe it as look like when you get off the stream, you say I'll look like an actual person, so that makes me laugh every time. Hey, you and Ryan did great earlier, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic. My favorite part of all of it was that you guys constantly gave me shout outs. So
we love you. We rattled some Newcastle fans' cages.
Wolf, yeah. I haven't read the comments yet, but I heard that. That sounded hilarious, by the way. I already know why he's here. I forget every time to put this ticker on the bottom. But luckily, we have an admin team and a technical team that comes in and does that, and I love it.
Would you like me to put any other games on while you have Forest on?
You can if you like. So I don't really care. The Forest are coming again. That's a great strike. Oh, that's inches wide. Oh, what a strike. I can't see who that is. Danilo. Wow, what a strike. Off the half volley, it's gone just wide of the net. Off another bad giveaway by Brighton's defense. I'm telling you, Brighton looked more shaky early this game than they have in weeks. If you want to, Chelsea and Brentford or West Ham and Liverpool, I'm going to probably just have the scores up for that one, and I'll be watching this one. I don't think any of our viewers really care about those, to be honest with you.
No, I'll flick City and Arsenal on when it comes on. Like, I might.
That sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Our viewership has 3 times now gone from 40 to 100 and then back to 40. So I think there's some glitch in the system. Because surely they don't tune in and like hate us that quick. As you said, we're fucking hilarious.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm comedy gold. Have you met me?
Is that you taking the mick out of my accent?
Never. I would never do that. As I told you, overseas, they love my accent. Why would I ever get rid of it?
I've never been told I have a nice accent. I did buy someone from down south once, and I was like, "Well, you're lying, aren't you?"
Now you consider down south what? Like when I think of down south, I think of like Brighton, but that could be London too, right? Like what do you consider?
London's down south. Anything? I thought Birmingham was down south me for a good while.
Right.
It's not. It's the Midlands. Apparently, that's a thing. But anything around Birmingham and down, our class was down south.
Okay, fair enough. What do you consider Nottingham? That's the Midlands, right?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Because I also thought that was down south, but when I look on a map, it's not. It's a bit like over.
A little to the east, yeah.
Like, the Midlands, like if the map of England's like this big, the Midlands is like this much of it.
Right.
It's nothing.
Yeah, I spent about 4 or 5 days in Nottingham this past trip over, and I'd like to thank the fine folks in Nottingham for paying for my trip at the poker table. So thank you.
Is it nice?
Nah, it's all right. I don't know. They just have really dumb poker players. But a lot of people, a lot of cities have dumb poker players. That's how I've paid the bills for years. So
I have never, ever played a game of poker in my life. I watched one get played once and my head absolutely fell off. Like, I can just about play blackjack, and that's that.
Yeah, I've played poker way too much for the better part of 20 years now. Matoma down the left side, absolutely torching Forest defense. It's centered. What a save. That is a great save. It should be 1-0 to Brighton. And Cisso's got a wonderful chance from about 9 yards out, and Navas makes the save. It's not taken well. He had most of the net to shoot at, and he really does put it right dead center. All Navas really has to do is put a hand up. So he is in good position, so I'll give him credit for that. But to be fair, Brighton needs to take that chance, and it should be 1-0. It's absolutely fantastic work by Matoma. Beats 2 defenders down the left side, and honestly just slides a very slow ball. It's on a silver platter, and it's got to be put in the net, and it's not, and it's a corner, but it is still 0-0. Great chances for both sides.
Ooh, and my little eyes. A lot of half and half scarves at Manchester City.
Well, how about that?
My best mate's a City season ticket holder, and so he's left not long ago for Get Down there.
Yeah.
And people were like selling and buying tickets. 150 quid he could have sold this for this morning, and then there were people offering like 300, 400 quid to go and watch it. It's going to be, hopefully that makes it a better atmosphere if people are willing to pay that much money for it. Ted Lasso's there.
At City and Arsenal?
Yeah. With his AFC Richmond coat on.
Now that's fantastic. I've got quite an AFC Richmond get up, I might add, because I was Ted Lasso for Halloween a couple of years ago.
Oh, can I borrow it, please? I'm not paying football prices for a fake football.
Hang on, I've got to actually. The girl I was dating at the time really went like way out of her way with this costume, and we killed it. So I got to send you this picture because you're gonna love it. I completely forgot what I was talking about before that, but it's not important.
Sorry, everyone.
No. They want to hear. They want to hear about us and our Ted Lasso. I actually haven't seen any of this season yet. By the way, we talked about this last time, and I still have yet to get on that.
Episode 7 came out. It might have been today, like midnight today. Episode 8's the last one of this season.
Oh, that's it then. The last one ever. This season's the last season.
Doesn't look like it's going to end here, you know. I can't see how
this season is the last season. I can promise you that. Yeah. They said that before it started.
I was literally saying before that I don't want it to end.
I'm okay with it. I mean, season 2, like the middle of season 2, it started to kind of go downhill in terms of interest. I don't know. For me, it kind of got a little silly rather than the first one, which had a great arcing storyline. But again, I haven't seen
Season 3 is a lot better than season 2.
I've heard it's not, so I will trust you and give it a shot.
Picking up, definitely over these last couple of episodes, it's been really good. I cried at this last one.
Oh boy,
I cry at everything.
Did you see Rob? Okay, so I have kind of a story about this. So a couple things. I'm not a movie person. Like if you named 30 movies you think that everyone should have seen, like ever, that amazing movie, I've probably seen like two or three, right?
Same.
And so I didn't know that Robin Hood had anything to do with Nottingham until I told people I was going there. And then they're like, oh man, something about the sheriff or something about Robin Hood. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so oh, how have you not seen yada yada? And I'm so, like, dude, I haven't seen so many things. So no, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the movie, and I'm assuming you're asking if I saw Robin Hood actually in the city. No, I didn't see that either. But
there's loads of things around there, like like little place cards and stuff. Apparently about it. I've never been to Nottingham though.
Yeah, they really. When I went to town one day to meet a family friend over there, and we went in town just to a couple pubs, and I saw them giving like tours of the city, and the city tour leader was dressed all in Robin Hood stuff, so they embrace it for sure.
They go hard
to watch that Ted Lasso. You must be
my dad says
bitter
he doesn't
human being.
Why it's a comedy. Like my dad doesn't find it funny at all. He has watched it. He is watching it, but he's like, it's not funny.
Even at worst, it's a wholesome show that makes you feel good. Come on, the Blues, be better. This game's really starting. The pace in this game is pretty high, and I think that in the long run, that's going to favor Brighton. We're about 20 minutes in, still 0-0, but Brighton have controlled the last probably 7 minutes of possession or so, all in the attacking half, and I think that that's probably going to be a theme. Again, I said it before. We've seen this from Forest and spurts, but they do run out of gas, and I think that that's going to happen today. The home form for much of the season was very good. The last few weeks, not so much, especially against Man United, and I understand United are a very good side, but having said all of that, Forest didn't even register a shot on target, and so
even we can get a shot not on target. Jan is asking if it's still 0-0 in all the others. It is 0-0 in all the others, Jan. Not that he's watching this because he's ready to join us, but What is kicking in? West Ham just kicked off.
All right.
Yes, they have.
Oh, get in there, Becky. Amy is gorgeous.
Thank you, because I have no makeup on. My forehead looks huge from this angle. I have my specs on, so that's a love art, but I'm apparently inept, so. I've seen a lot of neighbours over the park, not that any of them live over the park, saying they're going to lose today.
McCringleberry get the crucial winner. If you know, you know. You got to see that skit. What'd you say, Ames? What'd you
say? Apparently, none of the Reds are thinking that they're going to win today because they're wearing their cursed away kits.
Yeah, what do you think of the half and half scarf? That's what I was going to ask you earlier.
I went and watched a match with my mate last year, and I got one because I didn't want to get one with Jack Grealish's face on, but I didn't wear it, and it lives in my memory box so I can remember the first ever match I went to. But nothing screams I have never been to a match more in my life. I can understand the if it's the first game you've ever been to, and I suppose when it's like cup finals and stuff like that, it's good for the memories in it, but like, just buy a team scarf. If you're going to spend a tenner outside the stadium on a scarf, right, you may as well just spend £6 and get one out of the club shop. Ryan got me a mic and I'm using my phone, and I'm so sorry, so I'm just going to shout at you all instead until I can get an adapter to plug it into my phone. was awful. West Ham are dreadful, which means they're going to score in a minute because I've said that.
Yeah, probably so. I've got another mic actually here if Amy just wants to come get it real quick.
Just
hop on
you know what I
over.
could do with another holiday. It's been a week since I last had one.
I describe this as my game show weatherman mic in case I'm ever standing back there, but I still have yet to put that together. But one day.
I need one of those adapters, you know, like the lightning cable into USB so I can plug it into my phone, but I'm just lazy. I'm going to order one as soon as we get off, I promise.
All right.
Unless they're like expensive, and then I might set up a GoFundMe.
You might set up what?
A GoFundMe.
All right, sorry, I'm being a bit behind. I've just gotten a text I have to respond to because people are annoying. But
People are annoying.
What's that?
People are annoying.
I hate people so much. I'll just go ahead and say it. Put that as a headline if we have to. Brighton aren't coasting though. Somebody mentioned that earlier. Sorry, I'm a little behind in the comments. No, I don't think that was said. I think they were just insinuating. But even if they were coasting, you're right. Brighton would still want to win. But I think Brighton still have top four technically to play for, don't they?
Yeah, they've got a lot of games in hand, haven't they?
Yeah, they're gonna have 3 double game weeks the rest of the year because they're still in the Oh no, they're out of the FA Cup now. Actually, they just got put out. Did not make the final. Could have. What a weird bounce. This referee's in for a handful today. Like I said, he's already been given an earful in the first few minutes, so I kind of worry about where that could go because once you set that precedent, then the wheels usually fall off.
Oh, a West Country team. Where is the West Country? Is that like Durham? Is that in the West Country? Farmers and stuff in the West Country.
He must mean Los Angeles. Obviously, we're talking we're talking MLS as they always do. And no, despite my American stereotypes, I'm not a fan of the MLS. Never was.
Dave Weston coming in with the knowledge. Plymouth is in the West Country. Isn't that really far down south? Oh, I need to do geography, mate.
Brighton have a chance. Good defending by Forest. Yeah, Plymouth's set to be promoted to the championship this year.
Oh, lovely.
Still a few games left. I don't think they've clinched anything. I think it's actually kind of a cluster at the top, but I think Plymouth are still top the table at the minute. But yeah.
Devon, Cov, Bristol is that region of England. I like Devon. Apparently, my mum took me there on holiday when I was about 2. But it looks nice in pictures. All beaches and stuff.
What's got beaches, sir?
In Devon. I thought that was near Cornwall, though, so I really need to start learning. Pete, I am going to put Arsenal and City on in 4 minutes when they kick off. I'm just hoping I see West Ham score a goal before then. There's Jota's rolling around on the floor like a child. Not entirely sure what happened. Wasn't paying attention. Let's see.
Matoma's on the left side. It's in the middle, just overhead a little bit. Again, Brighton very much in control here. Forest have had about 30 seconds of attacking possession in the last 15 minutes. You almost feel like something for Brighton is coming, but Forest will be looking to weather the storm because points are very crucial for Forest. What do we have here? A foul on Forest. Already have players hitting the ground, like collapsing to the ground. I mean, we're 27 minutes in. Talk about a flair for the dramatics. If you're that, well, now he's looking like he's injured. That was a weird thing. Like he just hit the ground like he'd been shot way away from the ball as soon as the whistle's gone off. Brennan Johnson also looked to be having an issue. Yeah, this is going to be a weird one.
I think Forest are going to do everything they can, aren't they, to just try and get as many points as possible, like the rest of us are going to down there.
Well, they're just not. Well, like us, they're just not a very good side. The difference is they host Southampton in a couple weeks, so that actually might be next week.
Kufal has just absolutely clothesline Jota, jumped into him from the side, put Jota down. Jota's been crying for the past minute. Moisey said, "Let them know you're there, lads." Dave, I'm on 11 minutes and 4 seconds here. Give me a minute.
Good evening.
Hello.
Woo! Oh, yeah, apparently it's 1-0 West Ham, and I am really far behind on this very legal television that I am using.
All right.
Well,
Well,
you know,
then I guess since West Ham are safe, we can just laugh.
Yeah, the Opta statistics has West Ham's chances of going down at 0.1%.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, let's see what kind of goal it is.
We've got some, while you're doing that, we've got some news on the lineups here. Live from Jan's Lounge, reporting on the City of Manchester Stadium, the Etihad. Sorry, the Etihad.
What a goal!
Hey,
Oh,
we're
wow.
politically correct on this show. How dare you slate the fans of the fine club of... Okay, I couldn't even get it out of my mouth. Go ahead.
It's not about the fans. It's about the fact that Man City count season tickets sold as people in attendance, even if they don't go through the gate. Let's go to Amy for that goal.
Screamer? Let me wait for the replay. The West Ham fans love it. They're loving it. Go on, West Ham. Give it to them, boys. Bubbles everywhere. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and you've just stepped out of the salon.
Right outside the box.
According to Weston.
Let me see how far outside the box he is. It was Paqueta.
In his defense, that's
beautiful. He plays it in.
Jealous.
It gets played back out to him, and he is just outside the box. Screamer. Allison doesn't even know where he is. He's still trying to get up. Wow.
Good.
And now I am happy that Liverpool are 1-0 down. I can swap over to Manchester City and Arsenal.
Well, Man City lineup is as follows. In goal, they've got Ederson. They've got Kyle Walker, who's playing. Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji, and John Stones. Rodri, Silva, and De Bruyne, and Gundogan and Grealish, and Haaland. I think it's pretty much kind of as expected. Aymeric Laporte is out of favour. Yeah.
City playing with Stones there, working up and down from the midfield back to the defence in a complete total football style is working out really well for them and very well for my fantasy football.
How's it going in the other games?
0-0, but Brighton have seemingly Forest actually had a couple of good chances early and then a penalty that was saved, and then Brighton have controlled the last 15 minutes. So conventional wisdom kind of dictates that Forest might have blown their chance and the better side will prevail. But again, we're only 30 minutes in. There's a lot of football left, but I think Brighton comes away with this one. If I had to bet the mortgage.
Oh, I don't know how to edit the banner. I am so sorry.
I'm just putting up the lineups at the moment for it might stop you. There's some technical issues going on here.
Into the box. It's another Brighton chance from a little bit of leg tangling. No penalty. It's a shot on target for Brighton, but it's still 0-0.
Do you think it's strange to see Stones playing in that sort of midfield role?
He's done really well there. It is weird, isn't it? Obviously, he's a centre-back, isn't he? But it works for them. It's with the tactics that Pep uses. You could put anyone anywhere. Really, really doesn't matter. This team are an absolutely brilliant team. This Arsenal side is brilliant. It's going to be a good game, this. It might be one of the best 0-0s we've ever seen, but hopefully for my Bet365, it's better than a 0-0.
We've got the
Etihad.
We've got the Arsenal team as well because kickoff is imminent. It's Ramsdale, White, Holding. Gabriel Jesus is playing, facing his old team.
That's your brother.
I mean, he's not been showing the brotherly love. I haven't heard anything from him at all, really.
Sad. It's very sad.
Yeah, you've got Odegaard, Partey, and Xhaka in the midfield, which is no real surprise because Xhaka's had a new lease on life under Arteta.
There she is, Mikel.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. I was expecting him to sort of fade into oblivion. But how old is he now?
Who is this?
Xhaka, Granit Xhaka.
Oh, he's at least 38. No, I don't know. I have no idea. But I do know he's almost every match. Oh, Forest are in. Oh, my God. Forest missed another somewhat. Oh man, it's not a clear break, but it's enough for Johnson to do better, and he's put it wide of the net. This is an end-to-end game. I like this. Not so much end-to-end, I guess, for the last 15 minutes, but the first 15 very much. And then if Forest might seem to be finding a little bit of pace back, Johnson's got to do better. He's been given a great ball, and he could take a touch. He's given a little bit of a shove on the back right at the edge of the box, but still 0-0 in 33 minutes. And baby Messi, as Everton have made Brennan Johnson look this season, and how my rival friends have given him that nickname. So 0-0 still. Can we update the banner? Yeah, give us 1 second, Pete. I need to be better about that.
We've just had potentially some sort of nonsense going on around Michael Oliver.
What a shocker.
If I said what I'd say, Stevie would tell me off for bad language. Oh, they're in! No, they're not. Penalty.
To who?
Should be to City. Let me see. Did he give it as a dive?
No, it's not.
I just saw someone fall over in the box. Let me rewatch.
Partey plants his foot in front of it. De Bruyne goes in and then he doesn't make any contact for the ball. He's about a yard away and just goes over, and it's not a penalty.
Where do I love that Ryan calls me technically savvy all the time because I cannot find where to fix this ticker. Oh, we don't have to create a new ticker every time though, do we?
If you're editing it, if someone else is editing it, there we go.
I just hit it. Maybe I just deleted it. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's all right. It's here. What do you want? Do you want the 0-0 or?
So probably the 1-0 to West Ham. I think people want updated.
I don't like that. He didn't win the ball at all. He pushes him in the box and he puts his foot right between his legs in the middle of it. The only reason he won the ball is because he got lucky on the turn. It's 1-1, West Ham and Liverpool. Cody Gakpo's scored a goal apparently though, so that's the thing.
Oh. I mean, I don't really want to cheer it, do we?
No, we don't really care. West Ham aren't going to get relegated, so I'd rather see them win.
Forest 0, Brighton 0, Man City 0, Arsenal 0, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0. Well, thank you very much, everyone, by the way, for being patient while I ate my dinner not on the channel, because I've been told that the channel is not a restaurant.
I am absolutely starving. I wasn't hungry until about 3 minutes ago, and now my tummy's just like, nah, you really need speaker.
There we go.
I want something mash related, but I don't know what to have with the mash. Oh, Arsenal are in.
Oh, spring onion. Okay. Spring onions. Do it with spring onions and chive and the mashed potatoes with some cheese and mustard.
Right, I don't like cheese. I don't like mustard. Where am I getting chives from? I'm a student. What do you mean I don't have chives in? I do have spring onions in though. Made a beautiful chicken noodle soup the other day. But seriously, where does a girl get chives from? Do they come in one of those little tubs from Aldi and I can just whack them in?
You know what?
Sounds like a Tesco job. I'm not going to Tesco.
I'm just going to not touch that with a 10-foot barge pole.
Is that for mash on its own as well? Because I was more thinking like might have like mince.
Oh! Out of nowhere. So De Bruyne from a ball at the back. It's passed all the way to the keeper. City have got it right on their touchline, hoofed forwards, and Haaland touches it down, passes it forward to De Bruyne, just centre circle, runs to the edge of the box and shoots, and it just goes low and right. Ramsdale probably should have got a hand to that. Just does absolutely nothing. But it is a good goal. But you'd think Ramsdale
so far behind you.
Pickford would have saved that.
Cute, angry Arsenal fans.
Chris, your microphone's not on.
Oh, I said a lot of stuff there. 1-0 to Brighton.
Yeah.
Everyone missed my massive reaction to Matome.
Well,
Amy is absolutely fuming.
I am fuming. Oh, what a goal. I'm here. I'm finally joined you all. Beautiful. Robot. Love him.
Oh, it's a howler. I'm sorry, it's not Matoma. They showed Matoma celebrating, but it looks like it might actually, that might be Sully March. It's a howler from Brighton's keeper. Absolutely dreadful from Navas. On a silver platter, he just kind of pokes it, basically almost traps it at the 6-yard box, and it's an absolute tap, and it looks like it might be McAllister.
Oh, it's Brighton 1-0, is it?
1-0 to Brighton, yes. Buona notte. Sorry, did not recognize that gentleman. But
so just to recap that goal, City were really showing their caliber and pedigree there. They had the ball right on their touchline, passed from a defender to their keeper to another defender who lumped it forward, and right on the centre spot, Haaland controlled it and passed it forward to De Bruyne, who caught it on the attacking side of the centre circle, drove forward, moved a little bit to the right to create a good angle, and outside the 18-yard box on the right-hand side, just low shot, and it just snuck between Ramsdale and the post. And it is a good goal, but
terrible from Ramsdale. From a complete fangirl perspective, the strength in Erling Haaland there. If any one of our players was wrapped up like that in an opposition player, they'd have hit the death. They wouldn't have been able to put a pass through like that. Wow. Gabriel Jesus looks extra sad. He always looks very sad anyway, no matter what's going on, but he looks really sad. What minute are you on?
who are you speaking to?
What minute am I on?
Yeah.
I'm on 8:30.
Right, well, you're going to have to pause it for 40 seconds, love.
Sorry, 9:05.
Oh, wow. How's things going in Forest and Brighton, Chris?
It's 1-0 to Brighton on almost 40 minutes.
Right.
And as I've said, Brighton have just been in complete control. So I fully expect that it's just a howler from Forest's keeper too. Of all the good chances that have been back and forth in this one, I'm a little bit shocked that that's the one that goes in. But I expect Brighton to get another here, and then and quite frankly, I expect Forest to kind of crumble. We'll see. A lot of football left, but it's just there's not much. Brighton are just the better side. It's very clear.
I'm sure in about 45 seconds, Amy, you'll probably see a replay of that shot. Haaland did very well, stayed strong as Holding was. He could have easily collapsed and got a free kick, but he decided to stay strong and pass it forward to De Bruyne. And De Bruyne on his own, there were 4 Arsenal defenders, just didn't close him down properly. Like they didn't have a solid line. There was nobody really behind him. He was invited into that space. And before anyone really closed him down, he took a shot from about 20 yards out.
You can't give Kevin De Bruyne that amount of space. It doesn't matter how old he gets.
And I've got to say, City are looking on top again. Grealish has curved it into the left. Haaland's just touched it back. Haaland's got it on the edge of the box. Oh, no. Oh, no. Arsenal can't quite make head or tails out of it. Oh, no, there's a free kick for something.
Whoever wins this tonight wins the league, 100%. This City's got 2 games in hand on Arsenal. This is one of them.
That is great possessive football from Brighton right now. This is just one touch passing all over the pitch, but especially in the attacking half. Brighton look up for it. On the left side, Kaoru Matoma. What a fantasy genius he's been this season.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I don't know where they get these little players from. I don't know who their recruiting staff are, but I want to borrow them just for half a season. One transfer window, that's all.
No, we'd sack them anyway.
So Bernardo Silva was running, chasing down Granit Xhaka, who touched the ball and was about to turn. And Xhaka just decided he probably noticed the contact. And I can't tell what the free kick's there for. Xhaka just sort of collapses on the ground, and City would have taken it with about 4 or 5 players on the attack just against Arsenal's defensive line. City, I have to say, Arsenal, you've got to credit them for what they've done this season. They've got the youngest squad. They've really pushed on. I mean, I've thought some players this season have really shown the potential that Arsenal have had, or they've always been this. Oh, there's the potential here. But
Forest.
City are just a class above so far.
They really are. If that European Super League would have happened with all of them top 6, Sky 6 teams in it, that would have done everybody else a favour, because I just don't. Unless something drastic changes, Pep leaves, they sell half the squad, I don't see anyone. Arsenal have given them a run for the money this season, but nah. No one can hold on to it like City can. They're insane.
Yeah, Saliba is missing for Arsenal, by the way. I forgot to mention that before. Wanderlust has just mentioned it. I mean, the thing is, though, look at Arsenal in a few of their games. I mean, let's not just talk about the Emirates and them against us. But against Southampton, okay, however Southampton scored, whether it was Ramsdale error and then capitalising again with a good shot from Walcott. And the fact is, at one point, they were 3-1 up. They were 3-1 up with just minutes to go. And Arsenal did even look like they were going to get a winner to make it 4-3. They do have it in them, but whether they can turn it on against City, their only hope might be that they can capitalise. And City have been very good at playing three at the back, but if Arsenal can somehow capitalise tactically and catch out on the break, but City are playing a very high press and they're pushing them down, but they've got the ball on the left, Arsenal, and they do have some possession, but they're just being forced to play it across their back line.
Here come Forest finally. Oh, that's a screamer from Forest. Over the bar though. No real threat, but it at least showed a little bit of pace. We are approaching the end of the first half of normal time. Still 1-0 to the Seagulls.
Brilliant for us, that.
Up the Seagulls. Did.
Why we have a spare minute? I want to have a rant at Everton. This dressing gown is beautiful. I hope you can see how fluffy it is. Like, it's so soft. Like, it's really nice. It's like a small teddy bear. But 25 Great British pounds, and it's not got a tie thing, so it just stays open. What is the point?
You mean it's a flasher coat?
Yeah. Like, when I'm going getting the takeaways and that, and I've got it on, I feel a bit, like, exposed, because it's not, like... You know what I mean?
It's like not even...
when you're not around it.
It's not even one of those chiffon things with the feathery boas that you can be like, "What's that, officer? My husband's brake cable."
And it's got this stupid thing on, so everyone just feels sorry for me when I open the door. But I
mean, yeah, but most of the time these days when you open the door because of I won't get you in trouble with the landlord, but with the mold and the cold and everything like that, aren't you just chronically at death's door?
Yeah. Like, I opened the door to the fireman knocked on the other day asking if we needed, what are they called? Smoke alarms. And yeah, there's those fire protected things. And I opened the door and it was like, you know, the sisters of The Simpsons, Marge's sisters. I was just like, all over him. And he was like, "You okay, love?" And I was like, "No, mate. If you know CPR, I could do with it right now." And he was a balding 40-year-old fat fire officer. He wasn't anything to write home about, so don't give me those eyes.
He was trying to keep you said City driving into the box on the left, and this is really strange. Michael Oliver has Thomas Partey plonked himself in front of the ball again, trying to shepherd it out, and literally no contact, just bends his knees and goes to ground. And it should have been possibly a corner for Man City. And I've no idea what's happened there. It seems really strange.
All right, I got to put that. This game's too important. I have to at least put it on in the background, but I won't be watching much. I'll keep it to your commentary. By the way, how great was it when Ryan was like, tune into Chris's lovely American commentary? He was like fighting for the good words to like find how to describe this luscious accent and just, but I got it.
Who's this? Is this a bad thing? Is Neil?
Oh, it's from On the Buses.
That's it. I trusted you all. I'm going blind.
Why can't I find this? That game should be on. Oh, that game's not on. Right? Okay, sorry. I've got to find an alternate.
I'm just gonna.
I'm so blind.
I don't know what to say to this.
Is this an insult? Is Neil?
What we got?
Like...
I've got it here.
Oh,
and I'm just gonna share the screen. Hang on a second. This is. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, Amy.
By Jan's giggle, I feel like I'm going to be fuming, but I'm going to have to.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll
think
like
of
it.
the gin.
Where are we on this? Oh, what a save! Oh, it's in. I thought it was saved. It's 1-1.
Oh,
It might
oh
be
my
an
God.
it might be an own goal. This. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
I am never showing my face again.
This one's gonna be disappointing for Brighton fans to take. I want to see this replay though.
Regarding that, as I said, I only saw it from the behind the touchline angle. I couldn't see. But if he's pushed in the back, I don't know exactly how that makes your knees.
Oh, it's absolutely an own goal. It looks like it's off Lewis Dunk. Forest with a little bit of possession. They haven't had much this first half, but they do well with this. It's great work by their striker. A little bit of a box out. Kicks it off to the left side, and from about 12 yards out, it's just kind of flicked into the middle, looking like a cross. And it's a leg out. Look, I believe that's Lewis Dunk. And Steele can't quite. Steele does get a hand on it, but it's not enough, and it's in the net, and it's 1-1. Right on the stroke of halftime, I might add about 20 seconds. Yeah, 1-1. Forest have scored.
Excellent.
Halftime at the City Ground, it is 1-1.
What does that do for table positions as it stands right now? Does that put them above us? Does that put us
no, I don't, because the Forest still have a significantly negative goal difference, and so they, I believe, are on level points at 28. And then we'll be behind on difference. Where are you in the? I've got City pulled up, but I won't say anything. Where are you on that game, time-wise?
So the timing
just going into 18.
No, 19, 1909, 10.
Okay, go ahead. You're way ahead of me anyway, so that's fine because I'm not trying to react.
I'm a full minute and 5 behind. I never
well, fix your internet, Jeff.
It's nothing to do with my internet. It's the illegal streaming services.
Oh, we certainly didn't say that, nor do we condone that here on Follow.
No, we don't. I'm just poor, and
Amy, if you want to just list out,
if you want to just want to pay it, like, go for it.
Yeah, if you want to just list out your address, the police are probably watching, so give them something to do tonight.
Kevin
Merpol EFC.
Holding didn't necessarily. Oh no, he did. He held and contact with his ankle against Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne admittedly went down there quite easily, but he's pointed out Kevin De Bruyne is up in Michael Oliver's face, saying there's been about 7 fouls, but undoubtedly that won't be a yellow card because it was only midfield. But City have got the ball now. They're playing, and another City player has been fouled. Rodrigo.
So Arsenal are just really going in for murder. If they can't win the game, they're going to put City out for the rest of the season anyway.
I mean, we've still got to play them, so...
All the City fans have been saying to me all week is that we always turn up against them, and we do, to be fair. It just depends how we feel on the day.
I just don't have anything to say to that. We're going to get battered by City. Jeez.
Battered
it's
like
the games I feel like we're not going to win, that we always win anyway. I'm always going in like, I can't believe I've even paid for my ticket for this. Why have I even done this? And then we play the best football I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Yeah, Dave, I was literally about to say. I was thinking of that, but I didn't want to be a broken record. Holgate's first yellow against Palace was for less than the foul that Holding just committed on. Silva drove into the box on the right-hand side. He was always struggling against Zinchenko. Left-footed shot. It sort of mishit and bobbled, hit the ground, and surprisingly, Ramsdale caught it.
Whoa! Look at him doing his job.
Oh, I have a visitor.
Oh, he's had enough. Is it a furry friend? Yeah. Who is the best player? I hope no one's got an hearing aid in.
Oh,
of course I'm on mute again. Did you hear any of that?
No.
Oh my God.
Let's move in.
This is the best mate, Pavel the dog. He is officially on my stone for the new stadium, which I got confirmed today via email.
He is beautiful.
He's the best.
Look at him cuddling you. Oh,
Absolute
I miss my dog.
spoiled brat of a dog. Loving life. He's been forced into being an Everton supporter, and he just is angry at me every day.
That's why he needs to be spoiled.
That's right. That's fair.
Well,
We all
Absolutely
need
fair.
like flowers.
Arsenal have a free
Love.
kick, and they're all lining up on the edge of the 18-yard box. Oh,
I'll be-
someone's just gone down. Oh, it's handbags.
Be right back,
Haaland.
boys and girls.
Haaland's decided to fall over from a little bit of rough and tumble. Gabriel Jesus, is it? Oh, no. Gabriel and Haaland are pushing each other, and Gabriel literally just goes, and Haaland decides to collapse.
91% to 9% possession in the last 5 minutes in City's favour. Wow. Oh, I know I'm a bit behind, but I do not understand why players go in for defensive challenges with the feet above the shoulders. You are asking to be sent off. If that goes wrong, you are asking for a booking. It's the stupidest line of defence you could ever go for. Taki does it at least 6 times a week, and I'm like on 10 to hooks. Snare up.
We're on about the arms over the shoulders or feet above shoulders.
Feet above shoulders? I couldn't get my own foot as high as Gundogan just did.
Right, well, Saka is noodling it around on the right. It's gone back to Arsenal defence. They're in the centre circle. It's gone out again to the left wing. Martinelli? No, Xhaka has got it. And he's just passed it all the way back to midfield. And City are pushing out. And Saka's got it. He's working a little bit in field. He's driven it forward to Jesus, who's got his back to goal. He's holding possession relatively well. If this was Everton, we'd be... Oh, no, the ball is being driven in. It's gone across to centre field. Zinchenko's played it wide to Martinelli, who's on the side of the box. Zinchenko's turning. But it's been driven into the box, but City are defending it well. And the City player's just been bundled over. Rodrigo has been bundled over by Martinelli, just ran into him at speed.
How bad is Chelsea going, judging by Neil's comments? But I'm not taking Neil's comments tonight, actually. We fell out, Neil.
All right.
Hey, Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wow.
Had a bit of a
1-0 against Chelsea.
Brentford.
Frank Lampard is looking incredibly upset, Frank, on the...
Upset Frank. Upset Frankie Lampard. Another fluke goal. Average goal. Average goal from Brentford. I don't have a magic wand.
Any goals, all right, goal. Oh,
Right.
and it's been played through. City have just got it from... Oh, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne had it there, and he got it through from Haaland, I think.
Kevin De Bruyne. No.
Oh, that was a bit unnecessary.
Buonanotte. Is he was he on the World Cup squad? Wanderlust. I feel like I've...
So Haaland played it through to Kevin De Bruyne, and it was a gap between two Arsenal defenders. He managed to turn them both and got kind of a bit of space, White and Gabriel Jesus. But he went for a shot, and it just, I think it hit a defender's leg, the underside of his calf as it went through.
I will be right back with you.
Unlucky not to score.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the replay of this now. Great stuff from De Bruyne. Tons of space from De Bruyne. Kevin
I'm sorry.
De Bruyne.
I think I am going to Wolverhampton away. 1 minute.
All right, I'll see you there.
City have got it back again in Arsenal's half.
What is the
by
the way? What is the matter with me? Like, I've actually spent this week looking at flights to come back for this run in, and I'm pretty sure it's like a 0.1% chance. But like, why am I even looking at this? What kind of weird spell am I under to continue to want to spend money to watch this side?
Innit?
What,
I'm
Everton or
about
West
to
Ham?
spend 130 Great British pounds doing this.
What'd you say, Jan?
Sorry, I'm just I got distracted by you, and Arsenal had a rare moment of attack where they looked slightly dangerous. Saka had it all the way down on the right and didn't do very much with it. It's been cut out now by City, who immediately go on the attack, driving forward. Gundogan's passed it to De Bruyne. Haaland's running forward. Haaland is worked out of space. He's got one defender going against him, one in the middle. If he plays it across, oh God, one of you. Oh, you.
Lifelong City fan, Jan. Must have a wager in.
It's interesting to see.
He's got loads of space. I'm about 20 seconds behind, so I'm just seeing it. Wow, that's good stuff from Haaland, though. He's almost put that through.
Yeah. But he got a little bit greedy right at the end, thinking he could slot it through with his left foot. But
Definitely did.
If he'd played it off to De Bruyne or whoever it was to his left, was unmarked. Because every time Haaland goes forward, he's really panicking the Arsenal defence.
To be fair, Haaland's left foot, even on the stumble, is better than Neil Maupay's right. So if we don't laugh, we'll cry, ladies and gentlemen. So just trying to work my way through this nonsense. Lovely stuff from Amy. Thank you.
Sorry.
Relax. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
She's developing her photographs at the moment.
That's fair. Oh, Neil's spot on here. It's the same reason people rubberneck on the motorway at car crashes. You just can't look away sometimes, can you? Oh, that must be in response to my talking about going back overseas again. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's some weird, I don't know what hold it's got over me. It's ridiculous. To be fair, though, the last time I came over was a very good poker trip. So at this point, maybe it would just be good business.
Rock and roll to me. Rock and roll.
I guess I could put another game on while
the soul
Brighton
of everyone. What?
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't care about watching West Ham and Liverpool, especially when you guys have it on. I don't want to watch it.
No. I said before, what's the point in really covering it? Just like Brentford, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Redundant to us. The only thing I want to do is watch the what's another
one good reason, though, if you'd like to have a wager, not that we condone gambling, but stake.com, of course, our fellow sponsor, is a good place to do that. Be sure to check out all the great deals you can get at stake.com. And you never know, perhaps they'll run a promotion one day where you get to sit in an Everton box and have one of your friends give the referee a bunch of flack as he runs off the pitch. We'd never say who that was, though. But...
It wasn't me. It actually wasn't me.
No, I'm still jealous. I'm sure that was a cool.
No, but his name rhymes with that sort of minor celebrity who I think is it the chicken shop one or his name rhymes with Nabsy.
Oh yeah, I have had that chicken shop, by the way.
There's one in Preston as well as Liverpool, and I can only eat it when I'm drunk. But my God, what a gaff!
I gotta say, I did have a 5 a.m. Nabsies, and I was pretty disappointed.
What? You clearly weren't drunk enough.
No, you might be. I was plastered.
Right. My philosophy on those kind of shops is the same as kebabs. Have you ever eaten a kebab fully sober? Like gone out into town and go, I fancy a kebab.
You don't, do you? Like, I don't eat pizza at all. Don't eat cheese. But
what?
When I am hammered, I don't like cheese. Get over it. But when I am hammered,
no.
No, we will not just get over that. Sorry, you have to be kicked out.
I know people who are lactose intolerant.
I've kicked her out. Don't like cheese or pizza. Get out of our channel. She's gone. Sorry, guys. You've seen the last of Amy. She's broken back in. Unbelievable. She's cracked the code. Okay, fine. Have your say then.
It's the texture. When something's halfway down my throat and the cheese is still pulling out my mouth, wrong. No. Don't look at me like that.
Everyone's going to clip that.
Can you say that again? What was it was on the hour mark, Chris.
Why do I always get myself into these positions? Another one, actually. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Unbelievable. What just happened? What's just happened? We've just hit 10K subscribers on our Follow
I'm sorry,
Everton
Dad.
channel after this clip goes
Oh. Luke told his dad to watch before, and he wasn't being serious or anything. But what if he has? Lee, if you're watching this, that's not me. These are horrible people.
Nah, he should know what he's signing up for anyway.
Arsenal got the ball forward. Gabriel Jesus is trying to work it into something, but he's just running into a wall. He's not done anything. Never mind.
I'm still a minute behind. I just watched Haaland have a really good chance. The Arsenal fans are shouting some abuse at him. I love football.
I was really hoping Brighton would be up 2-0 at halftime here. That kind of went the other way.
I mean,
I
so
really
what?
don't.
The reason why I was
West
cheering
Ham,
City.
1-0.
The reason why I was cheering City, by the way, guys, is that with there being this match aside, with there having 2 games in hand over Arsenal, and Arsenal are 5 points ahead, but we'd like to imagine the assumption is that Arsenal and Man City will win the majority of their games, or all of them. So it's the go-to with them being the top 2 teams. So this game swings it in City's favour to be a 2-point difference with 2 games in hand, which means that possibly just the minor mental shift. On the one hand, you could say that if they beat Arsenal, then that might take the pressure off, but it could also mean that they've got into that mentality of right into top gear, just keep going, get the job done. But if they draw or lose to Arsenal, they might be more ruthless. I don't know. Like, we have to get it done. So I don't know. It could go either way. It depends which.
I don't. Given where that game is in the table, I don't think it's going to matter.
No,
because I think that there will still be, no matter how the result goes, there will still be. Well, I guess if City were to just flat out lose, there wouldn't be all to play for. But they're not going to flat out lose, plain and simple. So
Arsenal had the ball, passed it to Saka, and it was passed back to Partey, who took a shot that was about 2 or 3 yards wide.
We have kicked off the second half at the City ground, 1-1. Up the Seagulls. I've never been a bigger Brighton fan in my life, I gotta say.
Something is happening at Brighton.
What do you mean?
No, I just mean in general, the mentality shift that I was a bit disappointed. Oh, City are being a little bit silly here. Are they going to play themselves out? No, they've just given away possession. No, they've won it back again. And Arsenal are going down the left. Grealish has got it. He's passing it to the centre to Haaland, who's driving. Oh! Haaland in the middle took the ball, went forward a few yards, and as he just got into the box,
boy, we've got a super chat from our friend Jazz. I think she might be a little bit behind with Amy's recent comments. That's fantastic. Get in. Thanks, Jazz. We appreciate it. I'll make sure to let our channel leader know that you did that.
I'm sure he'll know.
Oh, I know. We had a funny one yesterday because Jazz jumped on with a comment, and I said, "Oh, we have a new viewer. It's Jazz." And Ryan was very convinced that I didn't know who Jazz was, which was hilarious. Hey, £1.99 is good enough for a steak bake, and I will be getting one at Greg's next time I come
Who
over.
gets the £1.99? I was the one who earned it.
Who's the host of the show? Hello. 66 pence a piece. The extra penny can go to Ryan, I guess.
You're welcome, Ryan. I've got to try and
I love on the chase every time there's an extra penny. Bradley Walsh says he's keeping it. Nice touch there. Bradley Walsh, one of my favorite presenters.
Apparently he's a right so-and-so, according to someone I know who does hair and makeup in show business.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Apparently so. He's a how do I say this word without swearing? He's not a very nice man.
I see. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, I don't like him anymore then. Piss
It's
off,
so
Brad.
sad though, isn't it?
It doesn't surprise me if that's true, by the way. I don't know if that's true, but
Might not be. I don't associate with the person anymore, actually, so it's probably a big fat dirty lie.
unbelievable. Then why would you throw that out there? Amy, good lord.
Because it's
So
still a
Haaland
comment
just
that
passed the
could
ball
be true.
right, and Haaland just passed the ball right to De Bruyne, and about half a second later, clattered into Thomas Partey. It's rather strange. I don't quite know what happens. They're not showing a full slowed down replay, but Thomas Partey was running. Haaland decided to sort of clatter. It was just a meeting of bodies, but then there was some afters immediately, and Haaland seemed to do something to push Thomas Partey down.
Can you imagine if Haaland were to, can you imagine if they were to send Haaland off in a match like this? Oh boy. Oh, I thought he was walking over to the VAR booth. He's only walking to get the ball. Huh. Yeah, not a lot gets talked about. Haaland's got a dirty side to his game.
Yeah, he does. When you're that big and strong, managers are gonna tell you to utilize that.
Oh, good chance for Brighton. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm just chatting one, don't mind me.
Across the face of the goal, it's still 1-1, but Brighton threatening.
City look like they're going to drive forward on the left. Gondwan's got it. It's gone pass forward to Grealish. Grealish inside the box. And a good tackle. And it's been put out for a corner? No. Grealish has got it. Holding. Puts his foot in. And just manages to sort of catch the ball as the ball rolls onto his foot. I don't know quite what happened, why it's not a corner. Goal kick. Excitement here.
Yeah, really. I mean, again, we're filling time in between chances by discussing glorious things like Bradley Walsh and our dating history. So we all know that's what you came for anyway. All you viewers.
I'm going to stick one of the stupid games on because you two are well better at commentary than me. And I'm going to see what's kicking. What would we all rather? West Ham and Boo or Chelsea?
West Ham and Boo.
Stick the Chelsea-Brentford game on.
What I know. Get ready for minute-late updates.
So there is now 5 minutes left in the first half. The ball has just been... Oh, it's driven into the Arsenal box. Haaland. Oh! Oh.
It's still 1-0, I assume.
It is still 1-0. Haaland took a shot and the ball was driven in on the left-hand side by Gondwan, possibly. And he managed to sneak it in. It's played between the City players. Yeah. And plays it back from almost the touchline to Haaland, who immediately, first time, shoots it with his left foot, and Ramsdale makes a save with his feet. The ball bounces up and down, and he kicks it away.
Precisely. Forest on the move. Not much of a threat here, but...
Sorry, are you watching the game or talking about Macbeth?
Cultured.
I tried to come up with something clever and just couldn't. I'm watching the game. I could say my knowledge of anything related to plays or things of that sort is nil. Pretty much nil.
Super Frank looks very upset.
It's a great it's a great strike at least. Looks like it's Nico. It's not Nico Williams. Who was that? I'm not good with players' faces. Regardless, it's a good chance by Forest. It's across the face of the box and nothing doing, but just a couple of feet wide of the post. But again, I can't say enough. The way I've seen Forest for the last couple of weeks, and again, I did miss the game at Anfield, but other than that, Forest haven't really offered much. And
City players just collapsed. Arsenal have got the ball, but they didn't capitalize. Zinchenko's got it about 30 yards out, and it's looped forward, and it's going to be an Arsenal corner. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying Forest at least are offering something today. But I still
Mm.
think Brighton find one. But anytime there's one kick of the ball away, though, anything can happen. We all know this, so we shall see.
City are playing quite dangerously though, because Saka was just pushed into
Ruben Diaz.
Ruben Diaz. Yeah, it's not quite enough for a penalty, but it
I
may
mean,
well have been.
Saka's sort of made more of that. Usually I'm on Saka's side, but Saka does a little bit of a turn and throws an elbow. I think Saka actually is the infraction or the infractor on that one. It's a little bit of a shove. I'm not denying that there is contact onto Saka's back, but it's not nearly enough for him to do a full turn with an elbow. That's
Corner
Saka
from the
creating
right, delivered by Saka with his left foot.
contact.
Looped in, punched away by Ederson. But Saka's got it back again on the right, who lumps it forward, and it's gone too far out for a goal kick.
Wah, wah,
The Dulux dog is very cute because I'm on the adverts waiting for the game to kick back off. But he's
What?
adorable.
Do you know what I noticed, by the way? The other day, I decided to, just out of curiosity, I was just talking with someone about the lineup for download this year.
Oh, you're on it, aren't you?
I'm on it.
We're Facebook friends.
Well, not the
I
actual
saw.
lineup.
I imagine you on the lineup.
I'm on the bloody website. Like, I mean, obscured by someone's finger,
again.
but that is definitely me.
It is definitely you. Love that from you. Getting everywhere.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, just from we haven't even really spoken about much about Everton. I think we had that a lot earlier, and then we'll save it for tomorrow as well. But it just reinforces that we have to take care of business ourselves. I just have trouble after watching us against Fulham believing that that will take place. But at the end of the day, regardless of what we think, we're going to have to find something, because whether the results, we can't depend on other results to go our way. It's just not going to happen for the rest of the season.
And the battle between Thomas Partey and Erling Haaland continues, this time with Thomas Partey getting a little bit too physical and gifting Man City a free kick.
What a face from Michael Oliver there. Did you see that scowl? Like, that's going to be a meme by the end of probably by in the next 10 minutes.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Like, oh, I have to give Man City a bloody free kick.
Oh, no. It was more like it was a dead on. Hang on. I have to it was so good. I have to share the screen. Don't worry. I'm not sharing live video. It'll be fine. But hang on.
Just
let me
pause
get this
it,
one.
yeah.
Let me have this one right. Hang on. I want to make sure I get this perfect.
It was about 40, just before 45. Oh, 2-0.
Who is it?
No, it's offside.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
So the free kick was looped forward.
I can't share because of Peacock. Well, you saw it briefly, though. Oh, they won't let me share the screen, but they'll let me share the live video.
No. Don't get us banned.
I tried not to. Hello. I tried not to. They made me do it. All right, we'll edit it. It was under 4 seconds. We should be fine.
So it would have been
John Stones,
beautifully headed goal from John Stones across from the far post.
Is he offside?
Goal. Yeah.
That's well offside.
Yeah.
I'll be with you in a minute to let you know what I think.
Okay, let us know, Ames. Do us a favor, react like Jan did. Like, oh man, it's 2-0 to City. Like, might actually be though.
Checking disallowed goal.
I
mean, you said he was well off.
Should it? His arm shouldn't count. It's got the line of what you're looking
at. He knows he's off there when he puts his head over his hands on his head.
He's not off because his arm is off, but the far Arsenal defender's foot might be playing him onside.
VAR sucks and it's stupid, and you can't change my mind.
He does look off to the naked eye, but let's see what the VAR says.
Oh, Oh,
2-0.
2-0. City. Manchester City.
oh God.
I'm sorry.
Go put your shirt on.
I'll get me half and half scarf out.
Yeah, get your half exactly.
There's got to be there's a City scarf on my couch. It's not my couch, it's Tom's couch. That's why there's a City scarf over there. I live with City fans.
Burn them.
I have no problem with them. Our brothers in blue.
It was really funny. So the quote unquote Everton pub in my city we share with Man City. And
Oh,
City. Oh, hang on. Sorry. We got a breakaway for Brighton here. It's a 2-on-1, though. Lost a little bit of space. It's Matoma. He's missed it. Oh, that's a glorious chance for Brighton. Wow. He might have had time to take a touch, but I think that might be hindsight because I don't. It did look like Forest were closing back down. It's a 2-on-1, but who's this guy over here? Buonanotte could have taken it himself. He passes it off to Matoma, who's from about 15 yards out. Has a fair amount of space and quite frankly just puts it wide. It's not far. I mean, that far wide of the post. Absolutely good chance for Brighton. Sorry, one quick thought. What's the 3-0? Jan's reaction.
Fight.
Oh,
fight.
I can't wait.
Me and Amy are catching it when it comes out on DVD.
Oh, that's a very punk man saying, "Come on."
You could see my face. Like, I don't know if you can look back. You could see my face. I was like, I saw an Arsenal player go down. Then I could see because a City player was trying to shepherd it out for a goal kick. And I was just like, oh, someone's going to go here. Someone's going to go.
Like a bubbling pot
anyway?
of skulls.
Ben White is pushing. Ben White's rolling around. Oh, he's
been shot.
He kicked the City player down on the floor twice. Although the City player did lash out backwards and kicked him on the back of the leg. This is interesting.
It's coming.
Wow. VAR. I don't remember what I was. Oh, we share the pub with Man City. And so, and to be fair, Man City brings a good crowd with obvious reason right now, given their point. And this is last season. I went to Everton. I forget who we were playing, but Everton played the early game, and then City had the late. It was a Manchester derby, and so I think it was the one City won 4-1 or whatever it was. And there's probably about 50 plus City fans there, and you've got 2 or 3 people who you could tell have been fans for a while, and they're trying to start every single song and chant. Nobody's singing because nobody knows. And I'm just sitting there. I'm half drunk because I've been drinking since the Everton game, and me and my mate are just singing like, "Come on, like surely somebody knows one of them." And I mean, we're winding everybody up. I'm surprised we didn't get in a fight that day, but
there is one that they do. It's about never winning at home and never winning away, and I would like to borrow it. So if there is any Manchester City fans that can sign off on that, and one of the Super Blues can sign off on me being allowed to borrow another club's chant, please let me know.
We did have. I was captain of a university football team when I was at university.
He's a man, a jack of all trades, a Jan of all trades,
but basically when we formed it, we were put in a few in 2 league, like we were put in the top league, despite the fact we were like first years at the time for some reason, just because I was a few years older. And I don't know, and we went for quite a long time without winning. It was just a laugh, really. You know, I think the only games we won is where the other teams didn't turn up. Yes.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch this, but because I didn't see the kicking out. I will. There's an injury currently in the Forest Brighton game. There's a Forest player that's been down for quite a while. I didn't see the initial. I don't think it was a dust up. It might have just been a clash of something, but he's getting stretchered off, so it looks like it's somewhat serious. We shall see.
Well, it's halftime at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, with goals from Kevin De Bruyne and John Stones. Arsenal 0. Arsenal are looking very poor. They didn't defend very well to give De Bruyne that kind of room to allow him to have the shot, and also Stones was completely unmarked, unchallenged. There was nobody near him. It wasn't even that he got goal side. City have been dominant in possession. They've been passing very well. They've been doing a high press and closing it down. Arsenal have been neutered, ineffective. There's been a battle between Thomas Partey and Erling Haaland. We've seen a few moments of Haaland's, I wouldn't say nastiness, but he's got a bit of a streak there. And I think he's just not liking that he's not being allowed to play. But then what do you expect if you're not going to...
It was the same against us, wasn't it? That video of him with Ben Godfrey where he's like...
Yeah.
He doesn't, when he doesn't get what he's used to getting, he gets a bit...
That clip with Godfrey is just fantastic.
One of my favourites. I do have a statement to make here. I've put the Chelsea game back on while that one's gone on to half-time. And right, it's in Chelsea's midfield and they're just outside the box. There's people in the box who could score a goal and they pass out to the wings. It's proper Lampard ball and I don't understand why he makes them do it in the slightest. It makes no sense.
Thank you, Amy. That statement coming live from Chelsea, Brentford. Okay, we go now to Chris Kamara.
There's I can see Amy's beaver. What? No.
What the hell just happened?
No, it's like they're fighting like back. No, it's just because of your dressing gown. Oh, for crying out loud!
What did you expect me to say to that? Oh, we're officially past it. Oh, sorry, Ryan. We're back under we're under 2,000 subscribers. Some of us have decided they don't want to. Uh-oh, she's left. Wait, what did she say? Uh-oh. I missed what she just said. I think it was an accident. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. That's funny timing though. She's done this before in the sense that sometimes the connection fails. That is funny though. Yeah,
so
whatever.
the Lord wills it.
This is a lot of, the players coming off, and again, I don't know who this player is. They've not shot a close up of him. Players coming off, and I have the sound off, so my bad, guys. I should be doing a better. Forest player being injured and stretch it off, so it will be curious, possibly even more than that. They'll be curious to see how much added time there will be at the end, but obviously, it's we see a lot of quote unquote diving. This is not one of those cases. A very serious injury in the Forest and Brighton game. It is Nico Williams, a concussion sub. Wow, and they just showed a glimpse of him as he's sideways on the stretcher. That looks bad. I kind of want to go back and see what happened, but I also kind of don't. So we shall see.
I've just put it on now, and they're resumed.
Oh, there we go. We just thought you had enough. We thought that comment did you in.
Well, that's that. What I really don't know what just happened there. And then I rejoined it, and it was like, "It's ended, girl. You're done. Bye."
Wanderlust has just said if Follow Everton is going out, it'll have to go out with a bang. Ryan's going to do it, along with Jan. I mean, fair enough. But I've got to say, maybe Ryan isn't Ryan. Maybe he's like, Jan.
What?
As in like, kid,
Oh,
you know.
I see.
Maybe he's Jan.
I've never heard Ryan speak with a remote Scouse accent. Never mind.
He can put one on though.
He is a Scouser. I don't understand. They're from Allerton. Like, I could put Jazz and Ryan next to each other, and you hear them, and Jazz is like proper. It's rude of me to like put the accent on. She's that much of a Scouser, and Ryan is so well spoken. It's unreal. So's David. Right. I understand.
Are you implying that Scousers are not well spoken?
Yeah, right. Yes, Amy, I have an issue with this because I sound almost identical to to my dad, don't I? I mean, you heard my dad.
No sort of accent at all.
My dad's a Scouser through and through, or was obviously.
Injured by the keeper, Neil. Yeah, I'll have to go take a look. Did he get? Was it a punch or was it just clash of heads or what? Sorry, go on. Different breed up in that Allerton. Can't say I know where that is. Oh boy. We've been asked for refunds. Jazz, we are not Daniel Levy. We're not entitled to give you refunds of any kind.
So which games are you watching at the moment while Man City Arsenal is on half time?
I've only got Forest and Brighton on.
I'm watching Chelsea get bullied by Brentford.
Does that mean that I have to put on West Ham?
Yeah.
I will
West
never
Ham.
make you do that. You can put on whatever you like. It must be said, by the way, that Chelsea are very lucky they had.
Oh! It's 2-1 West Ham.
We're forever blowing bubbles. David Moyes.
Right, you
David
leave
Moyes.
Michael Jackson's chimpanzee out of this.
What? Who scored it?
Not Liverpool.
My guess.
Way.
My guess is Jared Bowen.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, the guy that looks like a oh no, he's onside. Oh, is he onside? I don't know. The guy that looks like a very English version of Luca Digne. Yeah, Bowen, I think. No, number 20. Who's number 20? I don't know.
Declan
Is
Rice.
Dave Weston
that's not
reporting
Declan
correctly?
Rice. David Weston is ahead of me. Hey, Wezzo, do me a favor. No spoilers. Thanks, mate. Actually, I was behind. That's my fault. Yeah, I forgot I was a little bit behind. 2-1 to Forest.
Possible offside.
Boo.
You're fine, Wezzo. I was behind. Yeah, it's a good touch. And honestly, a very good finish across goal. Oh, that one sucks. Not going to lie to you. That's kind of deflated my day a little bit.
What? Oh,
2-1
no.
2-1 Forest.
Oh.
If you are just tuning in, you are now watching Everton fans' hopes and dreams crumbled before our eyes.
No, that's happened already. But
Crumble. Oh, no, it's West Ham 1, Liverpool 1. It's been ruled out for offside.
Gibbs White looks like he is the goal. No, it's not Gibbs White. They just showed Gibbs White celebrating. Who scored? Danilo? Yeah, Danilo scored. He's the one that had a very good chance earlier as well. It's 2-1, and this was a game that you did not expect Forest to win. There's still 20 minutes left, and there will be a lot of added time. I would honestly say a minimum of 10 minutes added time, depending on which squad has paid the ref more today. So we shall see.
It's the World Cup all over again.
Honestly, I loved that. I love that they actually got that stuff right. It made
we do the same thing in the rugby where we don't have added time, but if there's an injury or someone goes down, the clock gets paused and we play it again. So you only ever have 80 minutes in play constantly. And
you hear the referee's decision. It's like, and you can hear them say, "No, listen to me. Do this over there. Go over there." And if you do,
no, come on, lad, please behave yourself a bit more. Come on, it's a family sport, and we don't want challenges like that. They can be dangerous. And he's like, "Yeah, mate, fair enough." Because all rugby referees sound incredibly northern like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so weird. Oh, a shot from nothing. It's also weird how they sound like they're both incredibly northern, but incredibly public school at the same time.
It is. Every single rugby league player, don't bring union into this. I don't want to hear about none of that. But every single rugby league player has to have had a comprehensive education. No one can have gone to a private school. It's a rule we have. It's, state schools or nothing.
No, I meant the other way. I meant in the. Oh yeah, maybe I'm confusing league and union here, but no, meant more.
Union is for people who didn't want to get into horses and boats at Eton. If you're catching my drift, the word begins with T. And league is a very working class sport, and
it's past the watershed, Amy. You can say it.
Oh, we've just passed
all union players are raging Tories. I don't make the rules.
All right, we are just past the. Well, that's not where I was going with that. What I will say is, as it stands, this is what we're looking like. Forest, if they find a way to win this game, jump to 17th with 30 points. Everton are in 19th on 28, and Leicester, after the draw with Leeds United, are in 18th on 29 points, making tomorrow's game so much more important if this scoreline holds up. A lot of football left. Brighton have looked the better side for much of this game. It's just a matter now of if they can find a second goal. Quite frankly, they've missed a lot of good chances. And
I haven't felt nervous about tomorrow all week. And you know what I'm like? I am like a bag of nerves long before it, but that has just knocked me sick. I don't know what the difference between 18th and 19th really is, but that's horrible.
All I'll say is, when Everton needed to win those games last season towards the end, the likes against Man United, the likes against Chelsea, they found a way. But this squad this season is just not the same in terms of, well, all of it. So hope I'm wrong. Would love to be wrong. I'm worried about tomorrow. But I'll leave it at that because I don't want to dwell on it.
Well, at least I'm not hungry anymore.
See,
Now
look,
I'm
it doesn't even
depressed.
take Sherlock. All it takes is Watson.
Way.
Nah, we're not. I'm not going to give you that. We've got more. We've got other games, but I don't know. I'm not going to feel good if we don't beat Newcastle. Would you at this point take a draw, even after this result with Forest?
No.
Right.
I would have done yesterday. I would have done
I'd
3
rather-
minutes ago. But no.
I'd rather
We need to win now.
the poor use of words here, but regardless, I would rather go down fighting than.
Oh well, I mean,
With a whimper.
I agree. I just who on this team do you trust in a fight?
Coleman.
Really?
James Garner has had a lot of fighting
Tarkowski.
in those last couple of games. Tarkowski.
Pickford.
Pickford, yeah.
Pickford.
Iwobi does seem to care. Not as much as some.
McNeil.
McNeil. What are we fighting? Oh, you just mean in a football in a battle to try and score a goal in a football match, not in an
I
actual
do think
fight.
that they have kept fighting right down to the last whistle. At the Fulham game, amidst all the depression, it was James Garner and Ellis Sims and Dwight McNeil that were fighting right up until the last whistle when everybody else around them, including all of us, had given up. And I rate that from them, I really do.
Forest on the break again. They've got a shot. Oh, it's inches wide. Gibbs White almost with a second. Forest really showing they're up for this one. Stevie Cooper all over the pitch. Good stuff from Gibbs White on 74 minutes, still 2-1 to Forest. Again, there will be a lot of added time, so this match will be going on for longer than it looks.
Charles Stevenson, thank you for joining us, Charles. I expect us to finish 20th. Sadly, all this club deserves the way it's been run on and off the pitch.
We won't finish 20th.
Thankfully, Southampton are looking like they are confirmed 20th place finishers. But I don't know. I can't.
Did either of you two uncultured swines catch my latest poem?
How dare you?
I did. I retweeted your latest poem.
Yeah. All right.
I actually don't think I saw the latest one. I've seen a lot of them this season, but I didn't see the one pre-Palace. I'm assuming that was the latest one. Because you tag everyone else in the post and not me, dude.
He didn't tag me this time. I felt very unloved. As my account, my reach dwindled too much for your fame, Jan. Is that what's going on?
It's ridiculous.
He forgot about me. It's horrible, innit?
Unbelievable.
Get him
That didn't go the way you thought it would, did it?
True friends.
Go on. What were you going to say?
That's what friends are for.
Keep smiling. Keep shining.
Oh, I love that song.
Karaoke hour here on
Jungle
Follow
Book.
Everton. It's Follow Everton here on the WEFC here.
Someone's going to have to sing over me. I'm dreadful, but I will absolutely murder any Whitney Houston song you want.
Yeah, you got the word murder right for sure.
Yeah.
Why is it that any radio station in America is always like W or K?
I actually should know the answer to that, but I don't. They told me I was in radio for a couple of years, and I remember them telling me why, but I don't remember the reason.
Is one like privately owned and one publicly or funded?
No,
or
I think it has to do with
Public funding in America.
I'm not sure if it has to do with the wattage that runs the station, or honestly, I don't even want to speculate.
AM or FM or something.
Hang on.
Oh yeah, because
it's definitely not AM or FM because we used to have we used to have a simulcast on two stations that had one of the stations was W and one was K, and both were FM. So hang on.
Okay. Oh, and it's gone. Oh, and City are immediately. Well, they kicked off. It went right back to Edison. It was played forward. Kevin De Bruyne got it in the box, and was going to first time hit it, and he missed it.
So apparently, I don't know if this is still the case. Radio stations east of the Mississippi River had to start their stations with W, and west of the Mississippi with K.
That is so specific. Why the Mississippi River out of all rivers? Why
W for east?
Well, that used to, basically Mississippi kind of like almost cuts America in half, pretty much. And so, funnily enough, here come Brighton. Not quite. And funnily enough, where I grew up is very near the Mississippi River. And so I was saying we were simulcast on one WNK because one of those was on the east and one on the west. That's wild. I never knew that. Interesting.
Yes, I am a
Every day,
60-year-old grandma.
every day is a
with three.
school day, boys and girls.
I know. Thank you. I always learn something with Wall. It's lovely.
Oh man, I don't know if I've had the gall to sing a Whitney. I have gone up and karaoke'd Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, though.
Wow.
And to say that I embarrassed myself that night would be an understatement. But
I really want to see this live.
won't happen.
See, on the day that I was born,
There is video, though, but it's hopefully been
on the
destroyed.
day that I was born, it was there was a new number one, and it was Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody.
Oh, see, that is one of the ones I'd go straight for. And I make the noises, the ad-libs, which is like, I'm not going to do it, but you know what I'm on about.
Right. To be fair, most of karaoke night, you're the greatest singer ever, though, because everybody's so pissed. If not, then it's not even a good karaoke night.
Yeah.
I have done karaoke at the Alex on South Road in Liverpool. One of my stomping grounds. I love South Road.
Oh, Arsenal got it on the right, and they passed across, and Zinchenko's got it, and it's going for a shot, and oh no, Ederson's caught it.
Here come Brighton. They've shown a little bit of Oh, what a strike! Oh, it's a great save from Navas.
Oh, Ederson's pushed it forward to Gundogan, but he's just been Gabriel. So Jesus. Oh no. Okay. And
what time are you on, Becky? What game? What game are you talking about?
City Arsenal 47.
No, I know you. Becky's asking what time, but I don't know if she's asking me or you. I'm on 79 minutes even.
She could be what time are you on the karaoke station?
Or it could be what time you on Eastern Seaboard, whatever, or Mountain. I don't know.
Is this like when you lot say tea? It could mean like 10 different things.
Tea is your evening meal as well as the hot beverage. Don't start with me. Any of you say dinner, I don't want to speak to you anymore.
No, you're right. Tea
is hot.
tea is the evening meal, right? But so is dinner, because the one that you have in the middle of the day is lunch.
Oh, Jan, don't be so posh about it. My mum says lunch, and I will take lunch, but I could never imagine saying like, "Oh, do you want to go out for lunch?" Imagine that coming out of my mouth.
That really bothers you when people say lunch?
No, dinner instead of tea really bothers me.
I never knew. I mean, it was always dinner to me. I never knew that tea meant that until recently.
It's breakfast, dinner, and tea.
No, it isn't.
For the north.
Okay, well, technically, if you want to get technical about it, you've got breakfast, brunch, lunch. Tea is afternoon tea, where you have like sandwiches and cake. And if there's a cock around in the Arsenal box, yeah, and then
is
you've got
that
dinner
between dinner and tea? Yeah.
Right.
11.
I'm sorry, but have you not heard of second breakfast?
We've got a spoiler from Eugene. Goal for looks like it's 2-1 to the others.
This is an important question. It's a butty, and I will say it in my St. Helens accent. It's a butty. Butter.
I'm just gonna ask this, and I'm gonna get possibly run off the channel.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's not normal. You should go to a doctor.
What are you guys on about with chip buddies?
Fries, big potatoes. Chips in bread.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just
no. I live off chip butties, Chris. This is like an offense to this is like a religious comment to me, if anything. Like, if I go to the chippy and you see me on Goodison Road, you will find me in the supper bar getting a chip balm. It has to be. Chips in bread is...
I don't get it.
Oh, well, you need to jump on the bandwagon.
No, I like them. Again, when I'm there, I indulge, but I love them both separate. I don't get the...
Yeah, they're good separate, but it's a little treat having them together. Like, you can eat your chips on their own, and then you can whack them in a bit of bread, and that's good.
Yeah,
and
but where does that end, though? Like, where does that end? Can you just put anything
How
together?
many pieces are in a loaf, really?
No, what I mean is, like, where does that logic end? Can you just put anything together and be like, oh, this is great separate. It must be good together. It doesn't work that well.
You can put anything in the buffet. Wait till you have a super noodle buffet.
That's what I...
Pot noodle butties are elite. Curry and rice in a butty. They're good.
What did you say? What was the last thing?
What, curry and rice?
Curry and rice in a butty?
It's like naan bread.
I can actually get on board with that.
What else?
I just like my chips separate. I don't know, whatever.
I heavily disagree with you.
No, I just don't.
Again, so the American's talking about segregating things now, is he?
Stop. Quit it with that. I don't think it's bad. Again, when I'm over, I have a chip buddy. I love a good chippy tea. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I know what a chippy tea is. And I don't get how people but everybody over there worships chip buddies. I don't know.
Yeah, they deserve it, you know.
Matoma's on the left side. He's earned Brighton a
Are
corner.
Are we going to talk about John Clark's comment? Because I mean, it's maybe a little bit too political.
Nope, we're gonna let it go because
I'm not saying
we're gonna hear because we're here for football. I'm not trying to go down that route, John. I appreciate your comment. People deserve freedom of speech and to have their say. So I'm not gonna block you or ban you by any means, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna get into that.
I am not allowed to discuss politics. My mum sets me a 15-minute silence timer whenever I talk about politics because I get passionate. But John, if you want to discuss this later, mate, I am ready for it.
Here's the thing. I'm with. I don't necessarily disagree. I don't want to go down that road because it just.
You don't do politics at all. That was one of the first things you ever said to me. Not worth the conversation.
My man, Paulie. Yeah, no, it's not because again, I don't have an issue having that discussion with someone in person, as Jan and I did when I met him the first time when we were walking down Walton Road. But it's just online. I'm here for laughs. I'm here for fun. And honestly, I'm here to get away from all that nonsense because that's what I come here for. So, no offense. I hope you didn't take that. I hope you didn't take that disrespectfully, John. That's just how I feel. What'd you say, Amy?
When I start on politics around Luke,
Haaland's going through. Oh, and it's hit low, and Ramsdale saved it. And for some reason, they didn't decide to head it back to him. And City have still got it on the. It's pinball. It's pinball in the Arsenal box.
What am I even looking at here? Monster Munch on buttered white bread. Why are you putting Monster Munch on bread?
That's a crisp butty, and a crisp butty is probably the first butty I ever had.
Crisps are some of my favorite things.
I don't know how people
discuss this, but
how can people eat jam butties?
Yeah, I'm not huge. I like a Victoria sponge and jam in a cake. Oh, they're scrapping on the Chelsea game. They're really going hard for it here. Like big, you know, when boys do the thing where they like each other when they're all chests out and that, and they're like, what? With their heads.
Noodle sandwich. What are you guys on about? You guys are
hot noodle
forward to De Bruyne. Oh, 3-0.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Should have played him.
I was just about to say, I want to say that Arsenal have been on top. City have been a little bit sitting back a bit, and Arsenal actually look like they might get a goal. Potentially, if
Arsenal have possession here. I mean, I'm watching this play because I'm about 20 seconds, but unless I'm more behind than I thought, maybe I am. I'm sitting here waiting for it. Sugar butties.
My dad
just put sugar on bread
when he was a kid, apparently.
Oh, and also, Dave's probably of the generation where you slice a banana and put sugar on that and put it.
I gotta say that's poor from Arsenal's defense.
I thought I was going to say that was poor. Mars bar sandwiches. Emma's onto it. Mars bar toasties. Try them next. Revolutionary.
De Bruyne dinked the ball forward to Haaland, who just managed to get it. Who then ran at two Arsenal defenders. De Bruyne was free on the left. He cut inside, played it through Holding's legs, and just too wide for Ramsdale.
2 goals and an assist for De Bruyne as well today, and 2 assists for Haaland.
I'm joining you again because that Chelsea game is dreadful. They are playing like Everton, which says a lot, you know. Frank Lampard managing, obviously, but they're dreadful. So bad.
Yeah, they're awful. They've been awful for a long time. They were awful in our game, yet we somehow still managed to not be able to put something forth. Same for Tottenham. Spurs were absolutely dreadful in our game, yet for some reason we couldn't do anything. It's atrocious. It's maddening. It's angering.
I've discovered that my general like or dislike for a team, the tendency is my general like or dislike for a team is dictated by the number of fans in the crowd that are videoing or filming on their phones.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think that I will confess, I have watched a few vlogs. I think seeing the reaction in game is somewhat cool. I'm not going to say that I never watch it, but when I'm at a game and I see somebody doing that, I'm just kind of like, just watch the game. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe that's hypocritical of me to say. So
I always celebrate the goal first before anything. I'm not thinking about anything else when we score, like at all. It's the aftermath where everyone's still going wild and I'm like, oh, go on, and I can catch a little bit of this. I don't mind doing that. But if the first thing, there's a child there doing it, so I don't mind her. She can get away with it because she's a kid. But if your first instance is to be pulling your phone out instead of jumping around everywhere, going absolutely off your cake, then why are you even watching? Oh, there's an Arsenal man crying. Long drive home.
Oh, and Stones just accidentally slapped Jesus in the face.
That is blasphemy. Or is it? Something, it's bad. Whatever it is. The Poznanning all over the gaff.
Yeah, I don't see a way. I mean, it's possible that City.
Odegaard,
I just don't see who City are going to lose to. Their
Odegaard far left, whips the ball in, goes down. There's a scramble, but I can't see what the hell's going on. Arsenal have got the ball. It's played back to no, handball, possible handball.
Thanks, Jeff.
He's going to check VAR. Zinchenko has a shot.
I'd like to see Arsenal pull on back here.
Haaland leans into it with his hands like this, and it hits here. It hits here.
Below the
sleeve. Not a handball?
It might be. You said he was checking.
But no, they're taking
if he goes over to the monitor, it is. If he doesn't, it's not. That's the rule with VAR.
Checking possible penalty handball in the Forest game.
Who got?
We will be going to VAR. It might be
a penalty for who?
I looked away. I don't know. Let me hang on. Give me 1 sec. It would be.
I'll let you know.
It would be. No. It's not. It would be a penalty for Forest. This is bad. Yeah, it would be on Lewis Dunk. Yeah, it's a clear handball. That's absolutely a handball. Will be a penalty. Well, this is not what we expected or wanted. Forest have already missed a penalty. I don't think they'll miss another. But
no.
And Ben White pushed Edison down. So it's immediately a free kick for City.
Stonewall penalty in the 90th minute. Forest will have a pen. They'll take their time getting to it. I don't know why. I don't understand why there's Brighton players are giving the referee a handful or an earful for some reason. It's as clear as day. It's a penalty, so I'm not sure what the complaint is. He's clearly jumping up with his hand above his head. The ball hits his hand straight away. It's a penalty.
The City one, it hits Haaland on the sleeve, not under the sleeve. That might be why they've got away with that one. Pep's on his knees, man. What's going on here? He's wearing his cardigan today. That's why they've won, I'm convinced.
Brighton with a little Pascal Gross with a little bit of shithousery.
I'm not sure why. Just turned over. He's about to take the penalty.
It's going to be Gibbs White, I believe. Brennan Johnson missed the first. Gibbs White has the ball now, and it looks as though he will be the penalty taker, although we've seen players give the ball up in recent weeks. But it will be Gibbs White. Going for his second of the game. We're in the 91st minute. I'm not sure why Brighton would be looking to waste time at this point with shithousery, but they were.
Oh, we're absolutely done for.
Brentford 2-0. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll
Gibbs
put
White
in the group chat for pressing away next year.
Steps up. It's taken 3-1.
Boo.
Well taken to the keeper's left side. Never a doubt. Forest will have all the points today. Would have gotten great odds on a 3-1 Forest scoreline today, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Is this the first time Forest have scored 3 goals this season? Because I can't think of another.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but I'm not an avid Forest watcher until, we started battling them for relegation again.
Just out of curiosity, I'm going to have a look.
Well,
I mean, we can all cry about being relegated and that, and it's heartbreaking, but once we all get over it in the summer, I'm going on the donkey rides at Blackpool away first.
This is the first time Forest have scored 3 goals this season. Wow. Is what it is. At the end of the day, listen, hate to be that guy. We can't depend on others for results. And again, maybe that's a bit hypocritical given that we're on this stream rooting for other teams. Doesn't mean I want the results to go against us. But having said that, we just can't depend on it. We have to win our games. Starts tomorrow, boys and girls. fingers crossed. I feel about as confident as you do. I will try to remain positive even in our pre-match tomorrow. But this one, I mean, listen, let's try and see a bright side. The players see this. Maybe it will light a fire knowing they have to win. I know you touched on that earlier, Amy, saying that Seamus has talked about the pressure and all that. I don't buy that. I think that's your Premier League footballers. If the pressure to win a game, knowing that you have to win, is too much for you, how are you ever going to react in a cup final? Not that we'll ever reach one in the near future, but let's just say we did. You want players that'll be up for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So. 10 minutes of added time, by the way. We're in the 93rd minute. It won't matter.
And Amy's just had enough.
She's in and out like a fast food restaurant. Yeah, this is just. I think I'm more. It's not even the fact that I'm just more shell shocked. I didn't expect the scoreline, and so it's really just kind of thrown me for a loop. Brighton threatened; they had their chances, but Forest were up for it. To be fair, they especially the second half. It's been very back and forth. Brighton had most of the possession in the first half, but Forest in the second half have absolutely been up for this game and had just as many, if not more, chances as Brighton. So credit where it's due. Forest came to play.
I'm very frustrated at Everton. I mean,
yeah, it does come back to us, doesn't it? It just makes you more frustrated about us.
It does. I mean, maybe what became complacent is maybe what breeds complacency is a lot of older fans would have seen the great team of the 80s and seen us win things. Very few people these days would have seen the team of the 60s. Certainly people that still go the game, but a lot of people who go the game saw the team of the 80s, saw the decline, and maybe I'm playing devil's advocate to try to explain, maybe blamed the Taylor report and the European ban, Kendall going, could have blamed potentially Johnson or the stripping of the team in the 90s and the fact we didn't invest and we sold some of our best players, and that continued into the 2000s. You know, but what this combines with is they saw the good and realized that it ebbs and flows. And then that we survived relegation a couple of times in the 90s and had a cup run. At that time, it's like, oh, okay, well, we escaped that and things are going to get better. And then we went on an upward trajectory with Moyes for a long time, and it didn't necessarily go anywhere. You know, we flirted with Europe a few times, but it's okay. It takes the pressure off. I'm not saying I agree with it, but it takes the pressure off from having that history to think that, okay, well, maybe in time we'll get there, but we're having to fight with the big four, the big five, the big six, the sky sit, all this kind of stuff. But then, you know, there's been a complacency that we haven't pushed on, that we, you know, that some of the things for Keogh and keep Everton in our city, you know, it came from an emotional point of view and wasn't necessarily business. That they didn't protest against the ownership that didn't push for more, and it was almost like, you know, Kroenke at Arsenal when people are saying, well, what, are you only happy with third or fourth? But as an Evertonian, we'd have bit that off, and we were comparing ourselves to other teams rather than what our ambition should have been. So we end up in a situation now where, with a combination of poor managers and fan complacency, where we've, you know, where I could go on and on and on, and it's frustrating.
What I'll say is this: in Forest's before this match, in Forest's last 11, they had no wins, 3 draws, and 8 losses, and they could barely score goals. And I say that because nobody thought they'd get this result against the top half side. If Brighton were to win this game, they would have stayed 8th, but they would have been closer to the top 6. But point being, no one expected them, and they came in and played. You never know what can happen tomorrow at Goodison. No one expects us to win, so there can be some sort of shock result. And again, I know people are saying, given that we watch Everton all the time, well, we just don't have the players for it. Neither do Forest. Forest don't belong on the same pitch with Brighton almost any given week. Don't know. I'm trying to believe in some sort of silver lining, because trust me, I am on the same boat as everyone else in this chat right now and having a lack of confidence given what we've seen lately. We have to keep hope alive. That's the only reason we watch. We have to keep hope alive. We all want Everton to do well.
They need to do something tomorrow. If we lose tomorrow, I don't know what more they can expect from us as fans. It's not on us to pull them over the line again at this point. And I just hope to God they are watching this tonight, knowing we need to pull out our best performance, we can, because I know they're capable of it. Like, we've seen them play like that against Man City this season, against Arsenal. We've seen them play well against Leicester. We've seen them play well against other teams at home. I know the results didn't go our way in games like that as well, but
this is not
they can do it.
The situation we're in is not where we're playing well, we're picking up steam and speed and momentum,
It's getting
and starting
worse.
to win games against other teams that are winning more. This is hoping in the dark. This is not. I mean, we might say the task. Livovid said the task remains the same, and we still need to win. All very good points. It's just.
Let me say this, in terms of. I'm not pretending our side are world beaters. What I will say is we are as close. Actually, we are closer than ever, if not the most fully fit we've been literally all season, right? So we actually have, I guess, a better side than we've been putting out the last couple months. Somewhat a reason for optimism. We all know our attack is different when Calvert-Lewin's on the pitch, regardless of what you think of him. We're going to have our full midfield back, at least expected. I'm not sure if we'll have 100% Onana, but a 75% Onana is better than the alternative, I think, at this juncture. We get Decore back from a suspension. Don't know if Seamus Coleman will play. That will obviously be a point of talk. The defense is going to dictate a lot. Well, maybe not dictate, but that'll be a worry tomorrow. But the point I'm making is we at least have the best side that we can field. I'm not saying tomorrow's the end all be all of the season, but you
see. Gary keeps talking about the new stadium. Now, I don't know exactly what he means there, but I think part of it is those in place in the board and the executive team have decided to prioritize all of their focus on the stadium, on its associated construction, Everton Way, everything like that, the publicity of that, and they haven't decided to maintain the focus on the football.
Yeah, I'm not on that bandwagon, but I get where you're coming from. I do understand.
I don't know why I keep cutting out. I think my phone's like, we're not even talking about Everton depression, but sorry, hard one, terrible one, but we've just got to see what happens tomorrow, I suppose.
Brighton with a couple of good chances, but not to be. They will have a corner, but we're approaching 100 minutes, and there were 10 minutes of added time. So if they do pull one back, it'll likely be the last kick of the game. Anyhow.
Solid prediction from yourself, though, on the added time front. So,
killing it.
Everything's bad.
Killing it.
Man City, Arsenal seems to be done and dusted already, even with over 20 minutes left to go. There's been a few exchanges of possession. Arsenal have had it for a sustained spell. They're sort of pushing into City's half, but City defending well. But it's just very much a done deal unless Arsenal out of nowhere decide to turn this up, or City crumble and have a man or two sent off. I can't see this going any other way. Obviously, it's not exactly me going out on a limb saying that City are going to win 3-0 up with 20 minutes left, but
Navas appears to, I'm not sure if he's just killing time or if he has actually picked up an injury. Forest's keeper. That game's done and dusted, though. I might as well turn it off. I've got City and Arsenal on. It's just, again, not what we expected. I think I'm more shell-shocked than anything else. I did not ever in a million years see Forest winning this game 3-1.
I know. Wow.
And here's the thing with Brighton. They will be, if there's any sort of hope for us to go to Brighton and find a result, a point, whatever, Brighton will have extreme fixture congestion coming up. They have 3 double game weeks. This is their 30th match of the season. Significantly behind everyone except Man United, who are on 30 games as well, but they're not playing today, although I guess they are playing tomorrow. Whatever the case, Brighton will have a lot of fixtures coming up, all bunched together. So while Brighton do have one back, but it looks like it's offside anyway. Again, we're in the 102nd minute, so that will, if that's confirmed offside, or even if it's a goal, it'll be the last kick of the game. Brighton have a lot of fixtures coming up, so again, this is I might sound repetitive and annoying at this point, but the fact of the matter is, this is an Everton fan channel, and I'm trying to find a little bit of optimism because they are our club. I don't know. I want a reason to watch and hope, even though we're shit.
Ryan's got a lot to say.
I'm trying not to touch on that. Ryan's being beyond Mr. Negative at this point. So If I don't, you can address it if you like. It's annoying.
Well,
me.
I'd rather get him to address it. It's his channel. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on the stream.
I think.
Gundogan goes off as Mahrez comes on, so this will be interesting.
Ooh.
The guy who scored a hat-trick.
Against Sheffield. Not that he's not a brilliant player. If he's got his gloves on, he's doing well. But if we want to change the subject away from sad Everton, and you can touch on that tomorrow before and after our game, what is this with the short sleeves and the gloves? Makes no sense to me from Riyadh. Wear long sleeves too if you're cold.
He doesn't follow trends; he starts them. I respect it. That was my mantra growing up.
Sometimes I'll go out, even in the sunshine, and like your hands will just get a bit cold, won't they?
He's doing it. He's got the gloves on. No, if my hands are cold, my arms are obviously cold too.
Checking disallowed goal.
My hands are attached to my arms. Like
it was thought that some Brighton owners might get some extra fantasy points, but it's confirmed offside.
Thomas Partey, I think it was.
He stepped right on him, didn't he?
Yeah.
John Stones.
Bonjour, Senor Monsieur Partey. Je pense peut-être
Sacre
carte
bleu.
rouge.
Sacre bleu.
Do you need me?
We appreciate everybody in the comments, by the way. It must be said. Our viewership for this has been fantastic, and we know you guys like the watch along. So I'm happy to provide, or we're all happy to provide those services, I should say.
No, we're not happy. We are not happy.
Yeah,
we are
happy's the wrong.
it.
Happy's the. I do enjoy the interaction. By the way, I am good. Ryan has allowed me one shameless cheap plug per show, and even if he hasn't, Ryan, I humbly request that. But I appreciate all these subs I've recently gotten to my personal channel at Real Domino Chris, both on YouTube and Twitter. It seems that people like the podcast and the reviews, and I appreciate you guys helping me out personally, in addition to our Follow Everton channel, which has recently gone over the 2,000 subs mark, which we are...
And then dropped underneath it.
And then, because of our comments today, have dropped underneath it now. We do appreciate the support, guys, very, very much. We would not be here and having so much fun without you. Fun! It's fun!
Yeah.
Fun! F-U-N.
I specifically requested that you have fun.
I just want to say, right, my hands aren't used to wearing shoes, but my feet are used to wearing shoes. So if my feet don't have shoes on, they're likely to get cold when I've got pants on. But if I had shorts on and no shoes, I'd probably also have cold legs as well as cold feet. I'm just not into the gloves and no sleeves.
They're bouncing at the City Ground, 3-1 to Forest. Officially, Forest are in 17th.
You
guys excited to go to the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't wait. Just spent 40 quid on pyros.
Look at Jan. I would be getting pyro if I was there. Ben White, man, Arsenal are really towing the line here.
They've been dreadful.
With this physicality, though, I don't see how there hasn't. Maybe there's been more bookings than I've seen, but
burn them.
Just start. What do we got? Season tickets? Yeah.
Oh! Partey again. You know what? I'm not a gynecologist, but I know when I see one, and he is really being one today.
He's just had enough.
I am starving. Is it too late to order a curry?
Of course not.
25 to 10.
It's never too late to order a curry.
I'm ordering a curry.
It will be
Indian
yellow,
or
but
Chinese?
will it be yellow for
Indian.
Partey and Grealish, or just Partey? Probably both, if I had to guess.
I had one like 2
Do
days
you like
ago.
spicy or do you like?
Yeah. It's always a Madras. Nothing less.
It's not spicy.
Madras is quite spicy. It's warm.
No, it's not.
Wanderlust.
It's
The answer is Anthony Gordon to your question.
No. The answer is Thomas Partey. He just ran up and pushed Grealish, and Grealish is
A little bit of physicality. Who's gotten the yellow? Was that Grealish that looked like a City defender?
Grealish was just slowing down. I don't know.
Oh, the proper going for it here. Fight.
Okay, get a Naga.
A Naga. Okay.
Yes, try a Naga.
Are they like Naga chilies, I'm going to assume?
I don't know what you're talking about, Amy.
Amy, if you could send some over here, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Oh, good. Asking you shall receive, Jan. We've got Mr. Positivity. What are you on tonight, mate? You on the ale or the whiskey?
Me?
Yes, you. With
I mean,
all
these
these,
Everton at the moment,
with all
you
these
might need
blatant
smack.
hot takes on your channel, and as I'm trying to get people hopeful and excited and just possibly, in good moods for the game tomorrow. You just killing it all. So go on, have your say.
I don't drink. I very rarely drink. I comfort eat though. I've just had a nice bagel to cheer myself up. I am depressed. I'm just gonna say that.
Listen, this is a play. All jokes aside, I've said it numerous times. This is a place for us to all come together and vent, no matter what games we're watching. So this is by all means.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm pissed off that I've had to instead of. Is she laughing?
Yeah, of course.
It's just a brilliant way to start it. Hey,
Yeah.
better news. I have a stamp card discount on my Just Eat, so my curry has just cost me £4 instead
For
of 10.
fuck's sake. Okay, go on. Right.
I have your joke on it, lad.
Amy, I would pay for your curry if for some reason it meant I wasn't this depressed, as depressed as Ryan, because of the state of Everton, the state of my football club, and the state of the accountability that I just words.
Jan, we need Amy to get a green screen and put that picture up that I sent you before. Can you put it on yours?
What you want me to? Yeah, I'll do it on mine. I'll do it now.
Just funny, flickering weirdly in your corner. Need a bit more light. I think the fact that we have to. I mean, in an ideal scenario, Everton would be kind of mid-table or pushing for Europe, whatever we used to do.
In an ideal scenario, we'd be challenging to win the league. Don't be daft.
Listen, my expectations aren't that high, mate. I'm nearly 30 and I've seen us win nothing. The highlights for me were 2008 to 2012. We were quite fun. And actually probably Martinez's first season, maybe the first period under Marco Silva. So they were my highlights. What we're having to endure right now is rather than, let's watch Arsenal versus Man City and enjoy it and just put your feet up and have a bag of popcorn or whatever and chill and watch the game. We're having to watch bloody Nottingham Forest versus Brighton, praying for Brighton win. And of course, the devil is a cop-out, and he's not going to let that happen. And of course, Brighton make their mistakes at bloody Forest because they put them under pressure. Do we put teams under pressure to make mistakes? No. I just think the fact that we're in this position is completely scandalous. The fact that we have to watch all these games and pray for the results. I have to say, never again last season. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. And the people who've got us in this position have to be held account. In terms of the position tonight, we're 19th in the league. What we have to do hasn't changed. We've still got to win games. But what the league is showing now, what we're seeing is that the teams around the bottom, this isn't like previous seasons where you have a couple of teams adrift, terrible, can't buy a point. They can all win games. But we, for some reason, can't. 1 win in 8. So unless we start winning games, we're down. And Newcastle tomorrow at home presents probably the third best opportunity out of them all. Our away record is terrible. So if we write those games off, we're probably only going to get a win at home to Bournemouth. So we have to win tomorrow. We have to stay in the mix because we could be feasibly dead and buried after the Brighton away game. The Man City game, the Brighton game. We have to beat Leicester. We have to beat Newcastle. If we don't beat them, then I'm sorry to say we deserve to be relegated. Over the course of 32 games, we've been crap. Actually, over the course of 70 games, we've been crap. You can't be consistently that bad for that long and expect to get away with it.
It's
all good points.
Pressing.
Yeah, I have no arguments. We can't keep expecting miracles from other teams at this point, but I can't expect miracles from Everton. I don't want to sit here constantly and be so negative and upset and angry about it all the time, but it gets to the point where there's nothing else to feel. Like, the only hope we have is staying in the league, but I had hope last season and it felt good, but this season is it's just like being bullied.
Amy, this is a different feeling to last season. I think last season
completely
around this time, we all felt cheated. We felt robbed by refs. We felt robbed by injuries. We felt hard done by in games where we should have done better. This season, we've
A
not
lot
been
of it's
hard
down
done
to
by.
us.
We've not been hard done by refs consistently. We've not had loads and loads of injuries week in, week out, 4 or 5 players missing like we've had. We've had Calvert-Lewin injured, but we should have a squad. We should have 3 or 4 strikers like other
Yeah.
teams in the league do. This is a feeling of apathy. This is a feeling of, like that meme where it's like, it's one of those, and it's like the guy with the grumpy face. And he's like, it's just one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what this is. We are just not that good. We've proven over 2 seasons that we're not a good football side. We recruit terribly. We sell terribly. We do everything bad. The commercial deals are wank. We've got no money coming into the club. We don't bring in players through the academy that are first team ready, quality. Look at that Ferguson guy at Brighton coming through, physically, technically, streets ahead of anything. And this is Brighton. Why aren't we getting the players? You reap what you sow. You put a seed for a sunflower in the ground, you water it, you'll get a sunflower. If you stand on a dandelion and flick it around like a kid, you'll get loads of seeds and loads of weeds all over your garden, and that's what we've done. It would be funny if it wasn't true. Someone clip that.
We've battered the dandelion.
Stood on it all over, and we've sprinkled the most disgusting weeds. And you know what? You go to B&Q, you try and get Roundup, and you can't get, even that won't kill it. It's persistent. You're trying to dig it up.
The weeds of the league.
Don't laugh, you'll cry.
We've still got
Exactly.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no, you mean-
And
I'm
on
gonna
that
make a
note,
shirt.
I'm gonna love you and leave you so I can, get my curry in good timing, because if you don't open the door within 3 seconds, they're back in the car up the street.
No.
So
Really? They don't leave it?
yeah, they're terrible. Like, my living room's at the back of the house, so by the time I get up, because I'm lazy, and go round, that's it. He's off. Got to ring him and be like, turn back around, love. So my £4 curry's gonna save my night, and I will see all of your lovely faces by Chris's tomorrow.
All right.
The
Best of luck
toffees.
with the curry.
Woo.
Up the toffees. Yay.
Bye,
Da-da.
Amy.
Bye.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Arsenal nearly got one back. Still 3-0 to City.
I'll be honest with you. I really don't care about the success of other teams right now. Man City.
Well, I don't care either. It's just a matter of the games on my screen, and it's all.
Well, no, I know you're doing the watch along, but if there was a way for everyone to lose, I would love that.
Like in the league, everyone. Yeah.
If we could, I don't know. Someone used to say to me, I'll drop a bomb on Anfield, and why can't we just drop a bomb on Everton and we can all someone else?
You all jokes aside, I wonder. I'm a little bit worried about the atmosphere tomorrow if we go down something like 2 or 3-0. I think that it goes without saying it's going to turn ugly. I just wonder how ugly it's going to turn, and I'm a bit worried about. I hate to say storming the pitch, but I mean that thought has to have crossed your mind, right? And I'm not condoning that. Please don't misunderstand. I just think that there will be a lot of built-up frustration that's been building up, quite frankly, for years, but especially in the past couple of seasons. And I think it might come to a head tomorrow if we don't come out.
I can absolutely see Newcastle being well out of sight very early in the game, because I think that the reality. I mean, I'm sorry to be so negative, but I'm just. This is what I see. This is how I feel right now. We'll do the coach welcome. It'll be amazing, but we'll get in there, and as soon as we sit in our seats, we'll think, shit. Actually, this is the reality of the situation we're in. Are we going to be able to get a result here?
Right.
I can see Newcastle being 2-3 up quite quickly in the game, and I think fans could do something. I think there will be angry fans baying for blood. I've said if we get relegated, there will be people going around in this city causing murder.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that.
They will kick off. They will do something, and it won't be strapping yourself to a goalpost. It will be anger and frustration and upset. The look on Jan's face says it all.
That's just true.
I mean, I'm not condoning any violence. I'm just trying to say to understand the underlying, the thinking and the consequences of it. I can see things like Everton fans venting their frustration at Goodison, as in the building, physically the building. And Arsenal have got a goal back.
Who's that? Who's got it?
Rob Holding took a shot from just about 16, 17 yards out. I think it just got passed into. But honestly, yeah, I can see graffiti defacing bricks, etc., at both the Liverpool store, the Everton store, the Mega store. I can see scarves or banners outside Walton Lane and stuff being pulled down. I can see that if that happens, it's just because of what it means to people and how frustrated they are at people like Bill Kenwright and Denise Barrett-Baxendale and Mashiri and the players, and the fact that there seems to have been a failure on the part of the club to respond to the issues that we've had, like not having a striker and then and not signing anyone and leaving it so late to sack Frank Lampard and the promises that we wouldn't be in this situation again. Now, I'm not saying
we had no money. The damage was already done. I also don't want to use Bill Kenwright as some sort of excuse and pinpoint and personalize this to him.
No, but I'm talking about all these catalyzing moments that we've had that like when you see it towards the end of the season when players start getting sent off and conduct's really poor, and you know they're sort of watershed moments is what I'm saying. They're signifying symptoms of a bigger.
There will be people expressing their anger. At the same time, we said in the match preview today, we'll have the Holy Trinity back, as Amy called it, in Onana, Garner, and Doucouré. If we fight and we wait for Newcastle to make mistakes and we press them, we force the errors, we can beat them. Anyone can beat anyone on the day. You've just seen Nottingham Forest beat Brighton. Like, Chris, you would have said probably 4-0 Brighton before kickoff.
I would have said a somewhat convincing. I probably would have said 2-0, but point taken. Yeah, you never would have said 3-1 Forest by any means.
And also on this channel, as professional as you are, Chris, you can just let your emotions out, because I'm looking at the comments and I felt quite embarrassed that I'd just gone on that rant, but people were saying the honesty is important. I know deep inside that you are pissed off.
It's frustrating. I mean, listen, you guys live it. You guys live local. Obviously, I'm over here, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that I also spend thousands of dollars going over there to watch it. And again, that's just financials. That's not the only point. It's still in the blood. I've still been watching this for years and years and years. But the point being, when you see that in front of you, you see all the time and effort that we put into this. You really just start to question why we do it, because of what we've been given back, because of the people that are seemingly laughing at us at the top, because sometimes you feel like we're the Muppets in their stupid little puppet show that they're playing while they're lounging in their suites and yachts and all this kind of thing. Chairman Bill's statements and this and that.
Yeah, I've just renewed my season ticket, £690 for next to probably watch us play Rotherham at home. And yeah, I did think that's quite a lot of money. The football's crap. I'm getting no enjoyment out of it. It isn't even a financial burden or a financial commitment for people. I don't think people see it like that. I think they see this as an emotional burden now.
Right.
It's a labor of love. Yeah.
This is like a relationship.
I don't want to. I've been hesitant to say this, and the reason why it hurts so much, and I don't want to bang on the same old drum repeatedly, but before I could even speak, right, my first word was "Dad." When I was dropped off at my grandma's house, my dad went to a game of football. Everton scored. The camera panned to the crowd at Goodison, and all the Evertonians shouting and screaming and celebrating. And I just looked at that and turned around and said, "Dad," like, because that's what Everton means to me. It defines my life and my relationships. And it's not that football is bigger than life, but it's how we build things, and it's what we share with people. And that kind of love of going to the games with my dad and sitting next to him for 17 years. and what it means to me, the friends that I've made, Ryan and Jeff and Chris, and the laughs that we've had, and and Amy coming on, and Mabsy and everyone, and the fact that you came to my dad's funeral, the fact that I can recognise half the people that always talk in the comments there, the people that I've met over Twitter, and these is just people that I've got involved with through being Yand Out the Blue. Now, I was involved in other stuff there, the friends that my dad made on the forums from the very early days, and it's more than just that. It's like, the first baby grows and the teddies that I had that were bought before I was even born, like an Everton teddy and a mini Everton kit and all these kind of things. Now, it's just what you mean. It's what it means, and it's a foundational cornerstone of my life, and how it broke my heart to have to change my dad's season ticket name to somebody else's, and the fact that they take the piss out of how much it fucking means to me. They don't even try. They don't play with pride and passion. They get their heads down. I don't care if they fail, but at least try.
And Jan, I appreciate that must be hard for you. The fact of the matter is, you talk about trying. At some point, you've got to say, yeah, they're just not good enough, or it's like asking someone to do something they're not good. It's like maybe, I want an analogy, but I haven't got one. But taking someone out of the comfort zone, expecting them to be as better than they actually are, when they can never be that good. But at the same time, you're right. We played Crystal Palace. We played Man United. We played Fulham. We didn't play in those games like they were cup finals, that we needed to win and throw everything to get 3 points. And if we lose, we lose. But if we win one of the games, it's the same as drawing 3 or whatever. In the end, we didn't even draw 3 of them. But we didn't treat them like these cup finals. And I'm watching all these other teams like Nottingham Forest. They're treating every match like a cup final.
Yeah, Fulham was an embarrassment. And let's have it right. I mean, Brighton did have their chances. Forest are still wide open on the defense, but they did what they had to do to win the game. They miss a penalty early and still come back from that score on the stroke of halftime. And quite frankly, they were certainly up for it in the second half. It's one game. Forest hadn't won in 11 before that. And so, again, that's the sliver of hope I'm taking, in the sense that a lot of people, they're not giving our side much of a chance, and with the players we have, and I get that, but anything can happen on any given day. We've seen us do it a couple of times. I agree. Fulham was a shambles. Fulham was an embarrassment in every sense of the word. Our team looked like they were just jogging around. Any given day is different with this stupid side. That's all I can really hope for, I guess.
This is the fine margins, though, Chris, that you talked about. You said Forest were wide open. They probably were. This is the fine margins. You have to be on the right side of the fine margins. Teams are doing things. The one thing is the maximum effort for a start, and we didn't have that against Fulham.
Correct.
I didn't think we really had that against Crystal Palace. We were passive. We were like waiting for something to happen. Now, in these next 6 games, which I think we've got 5 games that we've got a good chance of doing something in, really. We have to.
So you include tomorrow then in that?
Yeah. We have to turn up and play very aggressive, very hostile, in your face, no space. If we push up and press Newcastle, we can squeeze up as a team and win the ball back higher. If we don't press them and we don't even play a low block, they'll chip it over the top to Isaac. They'll use their pace and they'll do us, and they'll open us up through midfield. We've got to be really compact. We've got to be really smart. And if we do that in all the games, we'll give ourselves the defensive stability to actually try and not concede some goals. Secondly, win the ball back higher up the pitch. Thirdly, if Calvert-Lewin is fit and we've got Doucouré back in and we've got players, got to get numbers into the box. Get the ball into the box. Occupy centre-backs. Let's not just have Calvert-Lewin stood up there on his own with 2 defenders and a full-back around him. Wow, 4-1 to Man City.
Is it Haaland?
It was Haaland.
I was gonna say breaking news. Haaland's just taking his hair down, but I didn't want to interrupt everybody's rant. But which, by the way, completely justified rant. I don't mean that term disrespectfully. But...
No, but
Do you think he's gonna surpass Dixie Dean?
No, not in 60 league goals for a season. No, in terms of overall goals, possibly. But
this is the problem. Everything wrong with this club. The fact we're clinging on to something that happened 100 years ago. Like, I have to be so honest, like, probably really sly. But I really don't care about Dixie Dean's record. What I care about is what's happening right now and what will happen next season, not some irrelevant past that people are banging on about, because we're not a museum. If I want a museum, I'll go down to town and I'll go and read about mummies and all the other stuff and dinosaurs and stuff. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what's happening right now. Sorry, what I was going to say a second ago. If we think we can get away with just sticking Calvert-Lewin in the box, lumping it forward to him, or trying to cross into one man who's marked by 2, 3, 4 players, screened by a central defensive midfielder, 2 centre-backs on him. No, you've got to get your two midfielders, Doucouré and Onana, actually willing to get into the box, occupy some defenders, whoever's on the back post, and everyone's got to squeeze in. And we've got to get back to what we did against Arsenal at home and Brentford and all those teams.
That's exactly the same thing. As I was going to follow on from that, Wanderlust has just said, Dixie Dean is just some cool historical player. I don't get big on stuff. It's a phenomenal record. He was a fantastic servant, and he's part of our history, absolutely. And it's great to have a statue to him. I'm not discrediting, demeaning, or belittling any of it. Oh, there's a bit of a afters. You know what? I don't care. I don't care.
Right? Okay.
But all that matters now.
It was light-hearted and funny, and then I came on.
No.
All that matters now, I don't care. Right. It's when they talk about, in the last 14 years and the results in there and in the last 23 times they've met. Different managers, different team. There's nobody that's the same. The training's gone. It's all different, right? All that matters is the last couple of years, right? But when you talk about stuff in our current situation, the only things that really matter is what has been continuous, the continuity. Now, whether you talk about the owners, the manager, the players, the coaching staff, all those have different tenures, right? But we're talking about the situation we're in now. And it's a domino effect, but it's built on the last 27, 28 years or more. Domino, right? It's been 30 years. All right, I'm gonna maybe upset a few people here, but our cup win in 95 was lucky. Right? So before that.
Now we really are opening 2 tins of tuna and a tin of sardines.
I hate to say it, we've gone under 1,000 subscribers now. Unbelievable. No.
Right. But you tell me otherwise. We talk about dogs of war. It was a fighting spirit, right? And I dare anyone to question me otherwise, because the cup win in 95 was lucky. Right? We had that headed goal ride out. Yeah, okay, so we beat Spurs quite comprehensively. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the whole thing of the we were nearly relegated multiple times around that time. It goes against the prevailing performance of the team at the time. So prior to that, what did we win? The league, 87. Okay, so we, in the Charity Shield maybe, but you know what I'm talking about. But when have we challenged since then? 35 years. And are you telling me that that's okay to accept that? For 35 years, we've had one lucky cup win. What did we do? We flirted with Europe.
It doesn't matter whether it was a lucky cup win, though. Liverpool won the cup twice last season on penalties without scoring a goal. Still bang on about and harp on about it.
Yeah, but they've also had consistent European performances. They've won the league. They've won the European.
Nothing for 35 years. Like, we've done nothing since 1995. In general, we've had 2008 to 2013/14, 5-6 years where we were competitive, and then nothing else in that entire 28 years.
We got the Carabao Cup.
No, we didn't get the Carabao Cup.
No, we got the Florida Cup. I was there.
That one.
And we parade around a preseason friendly like it's a major trophy. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic on so many levels.
The only cup we can win is a mug from Tesco's that they're selling for £1 with club card prices.
I have a Tesco club card, by the way.
That's sick.
Proud of it. And I'm an executive member at Costco. It's on my dating profile. To all you single ladies out there in our chat, I know you're watching. Can you imagine if I met my partner through Follow Everton? What a great life. Sorry to try. Like, if we don't laugh, we cry. I mean, again, I might have a T-shirt that says that tomorrow. There, see, look at that. Get in. No clue who that is. Hi, Olivia. No, it's frustrating.
I know who that is.
Anyway, I don't know. I can't really add much to that. You guys killed it in a good way. So I'm more than happy to sit here if you guys want to keep this going. It's up to you.
I mean, I'm still going to bring the positivity tomorrow.
When? Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, give it and we'll be well up for it. But right now, I want to stab someone. Sorry, I didn't say that. Just so angry and pissed off and just everything. I'm just sick of it. I'm fed up. I can't be arsed with them. I really hate them. I hate all of the players.
But
End up so Alan Partridge. That's going to end up as a new Martin Goldby. I just hate them. There's not one of them I like. Even when we were sat in the box and we got the signatures, I thought, right, this is great. We met them, but I actually was thinking afterwards, I was like, you suck. You actually suck. I used to idolize Tim Cahill, Mikel Arteta, Stephen Pienaar, Marouane Fellaini,
Leon Osman.
all of them. We used to think Osman was crap, and you'd be
No, we didn't. You might have done.
Oh boy.
He'd be our captain and best player on 150 grand a week if he was playing for us right now. People used to skit him because he used to p-roll it and couldn't hit a ball, but he was brilliant.
We had
Some
Hibbert.
great comments.
We had
right now.
Jagielka.
Yeah.
We had Joseph Yobo. Oh,
I thought Domino had a nose ring. I'm assuming it's the part of the stash here. No piercings for me. I do have a tattoo, but I'm not a fan of the needles or anything that can cut me. If I own
Everton.
Costco,
Nothing cuts you like Everton.
Yeah, once Everton has cut you, nothing will ever be the same. I think that.
Right.
I think that was the
Once
actual
Everton's
quote.
cut you, you continue to bleed. Yeah.
We're doing an open forum.
Oh boy.
Are we?
Here we
Who's
go.
coming
All right,
on?
you guys. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to make a brew for it, and you guys are gonna handle it for a couple minutes. I'll be right.
No,
back.
I need a brew. Ryan, can you? Oh,
Just
No,
wait
no,
while
no.
I say 1 sec.
Yeah, we'll hang tight. We're not going anywhere, and I don't think anybody in the comments will either because they enjoy our content. We appreciate everybody, by the way. All jokes aside, we do appreciate you guys. You're here for our banter. You're here for our frustrations because you're feeling the same way. Otherwise, you
I'm
wouldn't
here
be
in
here.
the restaurant with Seamus Coleman in the background.
Ask him
I
how
can
he's
do that
feeling and
too.
if he's fit. Ask him if he's playing tomorrow.
I can do that too. Wait, hang on.
Oh, look at this. Look at these young lads trying to be technological. I love this. Oh my God, rave party. Look what Amy, look what you're missing.
I literally have a light rig for work. Yeah, that's it.
Amy gets off to have her curry and she misses the dance party she's been waiting for all year.
You've seen nothing yet, mate. If you saw the stuff I've got.
Look at that microphone. I love I love that setup.
Give me 1 sec.
I'm available to do some interviews if you guys want to bring a live guest in, by the way.
Does anyone want to join?
Go on, Jan.
Hello.
You've got man of the stream today. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, I would say it's a great achievement, but when I look at the competition around me, I'm a little bit.
You realize you were the only man on stream, yes, because I'm not eligible, and it was you and Amy. But we congratulate you nonetheless. I'm gonna have our current mascot bring you the award. We've had good times. My obligatory "we've had good times" quotes of the day. I've actually got a comedy skit planned. I won't spoil the entire thing, but I wasn't even going to do it. But given how things have gone today and how I feel about tomorrow, I might actually put that together tonight and release it before the game. Because if the board think that they're the only ones that can try and go for a wind up before the game, they're sorely mistaken because I can play that game. So stay tuned, boys and girls. Should be fun. Ryan, you're muted, mate. Still, yep. Okay.
There you go.
There you
Right.
go.
That's better. Let's sort the hair out.
All right. While you do that, I'm having a brew. Be back in a couple.
Right, guys. Open forum now. I'm going to Also, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to post a link to join the stream if you want to come in and have a chat with us. It's completely open now for the next 20 odd minutes until 10:30. There's the link. I'm going to have it scrolling across the bottom. You don't have to have a camera on. You can just go on audio, say whatever you want, speak about whatever you want with us, ask us any questions, get your rant off your chest. That is the link there to come on and talk about Everton. I'd like to see some people. On there, yeah. What's it like in the meantime? What's it like in the canteen?
It's well, I don't know. I heard something about, I don't know. The lads were trying to do some sort of bonding exercise. I heard something about the biscuits being rather soggy. I don't know.
Did you watch the video about the food that they were making and all that?
No.
What did you make of it?
No.
You've not seen it. That's where I got that picture from.
No.
It's on the official Evershite. This is hopeless.
You all right there?
Everything's falling around. Everything's falling down and just going wrong. Oh, whatever. It's not going to be perfect for this. I'm sorry, folks. Right, come on. Someone get on that link now.
Yay!
Yay! Camera off, please. Ideally. There you go. Okay. What we'll do is we'll bring in our first caller and regular viewer, Wonderlust.
Why, hello there. I am going to have the camera on just long enough to show my cat.
Go on. Oh, okay.
Isn't she friggin' adorable?
Yeah.
More interesting than watching us. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yep. And here's my face. I look
Nice to meet
kind
you.
of like Dominic Calvert-Lewin 15 years later, having let himself go after retirement. Yeah.
So what would you like to talk about while you're on?
Well, at least the team where I'm at, the one whose name is on the long form of my profile, is doing all right. They got 2 draws. They are good points this early into the CPL season, as against the top 2 teams in that league last year. One of them being the winner of the playoffs. Yes, we have those over there, and another being table league leaders. So that's cool. They brought in a bunch of new, really good players, and they've been pretty cool. Yeah, so that's.
Can we sign any of them?
I feel lucky because in the event of the bad ending, I have an escape hatch, and that escape hatch actually has a team in my city. Yeah, so that's cool. I feel privileged in that regard, which is an interesting thing to say, considering that football is obviously considerably more of a thing over where you bunch are.
Let's wind back a little bit and let me pick your brains on Everton. Then obviously I've spoke to you many times before on Twitter. Thanks for dropping in. Thoughts on tomorrow's game?
Well, 3 or bust. The Geordies want a rivalry so much. Let's fucking give it to them just this once.
And what's your score prediction?
Jesus, I can't even guess. I'd like to say 2-1. I'd like to say 2-1. It would be a really scuffed 2-1, but that's what the Sean Dyche Everton does best. Really scuffed kind of results. Oh,
Who's going to score first?
Playing up.
But where are the goals going to come from? Do you think DCO is going to play?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, that was a wrong question. Do you think DCO is going to play well? Is what I said.
I think so. Well, it is in fact. I am here from 15 years in the future, and we do manage to scrape safety, and then we sort things out a little bit, and we never really get into Europe in the 15 years, but even in my retirement, we have managed to become the best of the rest again, and I am I am doing some amazing kit designs. It's absolutely wonderful. Oh, what a time for that to
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Everyone coming in when I was doing my 15 years in the future Dominic Calvert-Lewin impression.
No, not yet, Jeff. Wait a second, Jeff. Too many. Just while we wrap up with Wanderlust. Wanderlust, how long have you been watching the show for?
A year ago, and that was when I got to know you, Bunch, and you guys are all pretty great.
Thank you,
I do keep saying that. Yeah, I know that you. I really am glad Everton's been around for so long, and as I figure that if it's going to go away, it needs to go out with a bang, and who better to send it to Valhalla than the likes of Ryan and Yan. And Crit and
no, you had it right. I'm not a part of that. That's Ryan and Yan.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen things, and I've mentioned that I've seen things in chats past.
Right.
I was around for just after the FA Cup exit last year.
Mm-hmm. Good times. We've had good times.
Yeah, we've had good times. So now, how on earth have I managed to get into Everton? Well, my stepbrother got into it, and I started getting interested in football. Then was in a hiatus from getting interested in sports, period. And then sort of came back when the CPL became a thing. And then that got me following the English game again. So that got me back into Everton again. At the time, they were like 8th, and I figured, okay, the best of the rest again. Sound. And yeah. But I'm still here. I haven't forgiven my stepbrother since, by the way.
What do you actually think, though, for the rest of the year, then, Wanderlust?
Well, we're not safe until we're safe. We're not done until we're done.
I agree. Quite literally, but
we are, as if either of you play video games, there's this one I used to play called Darkest Dungeon, and there's a quote from the narrator that fits our situation: "A hand's breadth from becoming unwound," and that looks like us. But I mean, we can remember 3 points against Newcastle still gets us back up to 16th.
It will change the mentality of a lot of folks by seeing that we're.
I think I've monopolized this enough, and there were others who came in, so I think I may as well bounce. Thanks for everything.
We appreciate you being on, though, bud. And we'll certainly, anytime you're ready in the future, if we do a phone, and we look forward to having you again, bud.
And now you're breaking up like you wouldn't believe.
Thank you, Wanderlust. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Was I breaking up, or was he breaking up?
No, I think you were clear, to be fair. Thank you so much for coming on. One of our regulars there who was the first in the phone in, and the forum's open below. There's no prejudice or judgment. You just come on. You don't have to have your camera on if you don't want to have your camera on. This is your show. This is your segment now. Come and have your say. Come and speak to us. And next up, we have a very famous caller. This guy, all the way from his bedroom in Northwich, Nantwich, Cheshire, Alderley Edge, wherever he wants to say he's from. It is Jeff with one F, Stop Ukraine War, and his pair of handcuffs. Jeff, let's get him in.
No one's ever had an introduction half of that.
No, I think that's probably one of the best introductions that's ever been. Nice one, thanks.
How you feeling there, mate? Because we all know, but the public wants to know.
They really, really, really want to know.
They really have. They really have to win tomorrow, don't they?
I can't. I'm going to the game tomorrow, but I can't see it.
Right.
I want to have faith. I want to believe that we can perform some kind of miracle, but I've not seen anything from this gang to think that they've got it in them, if you know what I mean. So, it's just, it feels a lot worse than last year. It really does, because at least last year we had a talismanic player who could do something out of nothing, and it just, this team's bang average in it. It's not even bang average; it's poor.
Yeah, you don't see that creativity from an individual effort, really, from anybody, except I mean, you can make a case for Dwight McNeil, but that's about it. And that's
Yes, if we get relegated, we'll all have each other.
Yeah, so basically, I'm kind of in the sort of fatalistic camp now of if we survive.
That's where I'm moving to when we get relegated, by the way.
Sorry?
That's where I'm going to move.
That?
Prague.
Where's that?
Prague.
Oh, Prague.
I'll join you in Prague. That's a good poker scene over there. We'll make some
it's a nice place to live. I'll move to Prague too.
All right. Well, fuck off, everybody else. We're going to Prague.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I said this in the stream before, like, in the comments before.
Just sat in the bloody French farm canteen whilst Chef is like he's on porno.
We've lost it, boys and girls.
Pornhub would be.
I mean, you'd have to have some internet working.
That's why Jeff's internet doesn't work. He's used all his bandwidth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Everton has caused me to go to hospital. Oh my god. But yeah, it's one of those where I'm kind of fatalistic about it now. I expect us to get relegated, and if we don't, it's a miracle.
Jeff's in hospital. He's in the Royal in town. He's waiting for someone to put the drip in.
What?
He's got a hospital
He's got a bad case of blue fever. He's got like blue blood and blue balls.
Oh my god!
No, I'm with you though, Jeff. I was trying to hear your thoughts there.
Sorry, Jeff. Please do share.
It's all right. It's just one of those where, like, we're the lowest scorers in all of football. Like we are the worst team in football, and you can't. Oh, thanks for that. You put me on the main screen now. Cheers. Hello, everyone.
Prime billing.
Yeah, before our next caller.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going tomorrow. I'm hoping that we'll win, but I'm not expecting it because this team's shown nothing to give me anything to believe in. So I'll cheer and shout with Jan, and I'll try and be as positive as I can, and I'll cheer on these players even though they don't deserve it because they're a sack of shit. But they're what we've got, so we have to get behind them, and that's all we've got to do is meet them, shout at them, cheer them up, do the best we can, try and G them over the line because, like, I think if we lose tomorrow, I think we're done. Genuinely, I think we're done. We're not going to beat Man City. We're almost certainly not going to beat Brighton away. And the other teams are probably still going to pick up more points, so we have to get free tomorrow. We absolutely have to get free tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't like it when people say that Leeds aren't going to pick up another point, Leicester not going to pick up another point. Says who? We've just seen Nottingham Forest tonight win a game that
exactly the least likely of them all to get points in a certain fixture like that has just picked up 3 points.
I think Southampton are probably down with us. Well, they're probably down. But out of the rest of the teams, like, I think we're the worst, genuinely. And we score the least amount of goals. We create less than any of these other teams. The
sad thing is, like we said before, in January, I strongly feel that we're probably only 2 good top 10 players away from being safe comfortably in the league. I think if you've got one good, maybe a right winger or a left winger who can actually beat someone, whip a ball in, get on the back post and slot a few goals in, and a centre forward who can actually bag an average PL total of 10 to 15 a season, like pretty much every club has got.
This is the thing, is I don't blame the players. I don't really blame the players. This is the thing is, like, I don't like the players. I don't think they're very good players, but I don't blame them for the situation we're in because we bought them. Like our club decided in their infinite wisdom to offer like Michael Keane like 120 grand a week contract because he played well for about 5 weeks. That's exactly everything that's wrong with our football club. The fact that we give fat contracts to players who are bang average based on 2 or 3 good performances. The fact that we were actually planning to pay Alex Iwobi like 120 grand a week to stay. He scored 1 goal all season, and people like go on about him as if he's like the second coming. It's like, he's our most creative player. It's like, is he? Like he's our most creative player. That's
He's
like
got 7 assists this year, though, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like it. That's the full extent of it. But
assists don't mean an
that's the
awful lot.
bar. That's the highest bar that we've got, and you want to pay him 120 grand a week? Surely we can find better. Because if he's a creative player, he needs to score goals too.
Jeff, I want to stay on if you like. I want to get to our caller, though. I don't want to keep him waiting too long, so I'll come back to you.
Yeah, just drop me out. I just wanted to come on for a little rant, so it's fine.
Jeff, you can sit in the panel with us if you want, in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Go on, Ryan. If you want to get, I don't know which layout you want to use, but I'm going to bring John in here now.
Yeah.
John, can you hear us? If you can't, John, you're on. I'm not sure if you're on mute. We cannot hear you. I like the description, though. Good sub name.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, mate. Yep, can hear you. How are you?
Yeah. 2 points, really. Agree with pretty much everything you say. Second point is great for doing the live cast, about how everybody else is doing. But unless we can get to 35 points at the very, very least, I don't really think it even matters.
Yeah, we spoke yesterday on a stream about would 34 be enough, and we came up with scenarios where 34 on goal difference maybe, but now with Forest winning, you have to. That I agree with you now, especially now with Forest winning, you have to think others will pick up points too. I think 35, maybe even higher, might be the number. We just don't know.
I think the absolute minimum is 35. So I think not getting 4 from tomorrow and Leicester on Monday, and I really think that's it because. Brighton might have had an off day because we've all had semi-final and quarter-final FA Cup defeats, and everybody is very down the next day. But and Brighton have slipped off the Europa League and the Conference League places a little, so that's maybe in our favour. Right. But I don't really see any. We're on 28 now, so. That means to me 2 wins and a draw, and I'm not really sure where they come from.
Yeah, I'm not either. And there's a bit of a debate about would you take a draw tomorrow, but with the Forest win today, there's no question whatsoever that the must-win game, or excuse me, I should say Leicester is a must-win game. There's no more like
absolutely 110% it is, yeah.
But I mean, honestly, Jan, Ryan, I want your opinion too. I'd say about 6 hours ago, if you said, if we get a draw tomorrow, would you be okay with it? You might have said yes. You might have said, no, we need to go for a win. Now it's not that case, though, is it, Jan?
No, now it becomes vitally important for us to pick up points. Because if you say, a draw, and then you're reliant on other draws, we've seen that we are not reliable. We need to get points. It's just that simple. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what it boils down to. And where are we going to get them from?
My dad used to have a saying. He used to say, it's time to shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
And if you do simple maths, Nottingham Forest today we've scored 24 goals. They've scored 1/8 of our total of goals in one game.
That's a sad way to look at it, mate.
And I don't even want to look at it like that because I hate maths even more so now. But it's and I was reading something the other day, and our total of goals to stay up. Apparently Huddersfield, if you remember when they were up in the Premier League, however many years ago that was now,
About 6,
the one
7 years
season
ago.
they stayed up, they scored apparently 29 or something. And we're not even on schedule to make that now.
Shocking, really. John, I want to put you on the spot because it's been a little bit of a debate in the last, well, especially in the last week, but really the last couple. In terms of lineups, how would you put our defense tomorrow, especially on the wings with Mikalenko, Godfrey?
Well,
if Coleman's fit, you'd think Coleman has to start. But let's say for now Coleman's not fit. Who would you put in there?
I'd have to be Patterson, wouldn't it?
That's what I think, personally.
Because you can't really say that Ben Godfrey has done anything. And not sure what I'd do other than that, but I would go for like 4-5-1 because we can't do anything else. Because I'm going to go a little bit against what some people might say. But if you offered me a draw now, I might take it tomorrow because all I really think we need to do is the best we can maybe hope for is to stay within like 3 points of like Bournemouth, or 3 points of whoever's in 17th place on
3
the last
points
day.
of safety, exactly. 3 points of safety.
Yeah, so if you offered me a draw, I think the game that's really, really killed us is Fulham.
Yeah.
Because, we should have been 3-1 up at half time, shouldn't we?
Right.
The Spurs and the Fulham games are proving costly. These are the two games that I think we've missed out on. But there's no point. Let's not fixate on the past because
I agree with that.
There's absolutely no point. And as one of the comments here from Stephen Woodside, one of our regulars, he said, "I know things look bleak, but we still got 6 games to go. Most are waving white flags." I wouldn't say it's a white flag. I just think we're all down in the dumps and we're all kind of numbing ourselves to
a cross between? It's a very, very beige white flag. But the one, like, if you look at our record though, how many games ago was Brentford? Now was there about 6 or 7?
I think it was maybe 8 games. Stephen also said, "Did we expect to beat Arsenal and draw at City?" Of course not. So he's
no, we didn't. But they were very, very spread out. We need them in 6 games now, don't we?
But did we expect to lose to Southampton?
To Wolves.
And to
amongst
Wolves.
many
No, none of them. And I was there for them. But the point is, this team, as we've all said many times before, has shown no inclination to deal with pressure in any good way, has it?
That's the worry.
Are we talking about footballing pressure on the pitch or psychological pressure from the situation they're in, or pressure from the fans, or just all of it?
It's all of it together, isn't it? Because there's no person we can sort of rely on, is there? Because Calvert-Lewin is our really last hope, and if that swivel against Palace had gone in, totally different thing. And he's got a record of scoring against Newcastle, which is great. And I've got that gut feeling that I think something good might happen tomorrow because I was there last season as well. But is that just blind faith? Because it wouldn't surprise me either if we were 3-0 down in 30 minutes.
It wouldn't either, but I agree it's blind faith because I've got the same myself, and the blind faith will be even more magnified an hour before the match tomorrow. Because if you ask me an hour before any given match, I'm going to say we're going to win 4-0.
I agree.
You got your blood's flowing and everything.
John, thank you so much. How long have you been watching the show for? Have you found us recently or
years? No, so but I just don't know where to turn, because I really do think that if we go down, because I'm born and bred in Liverpool, I come from 4 generations of Everton fans. There's not a red in our family who's in my children, but the cousins and whatever. If we go down, I really, really do think we'll be the next, Sunderland. We'll go down 2-3 divisions. And that's really
administration, and
I don't think there's any prospect of because I know football's greatly changed, because at the start of the season that I started going in the early 70s with a bit of good coaching, bit of good scouting, bit of good management, because in the 70s was it 7 or 8 different teams won the league. In the 60s it was pretty much the same. Now because if Brentford and Brighton will completely be pillaged of all their players, won't they, by the bigger fish? Because if you don't get like a class of 92 kind of scenario where we're just really, really lucky and 5 people come from our youth team, pretty much like it did in the 80s, even though it wasn't all the youth team. Some of it was like, Peter Reid's, Andy Gray's, and we're all washed up has-beens, and that was incredible amount of luck. If nobody's going to get the chance now to build a team over 5 years, and even I'm beginning to worry a little bit about Sean Dyche, because, he hasn't got a like Sam Allardyce record of keeping you up. He's got a record of maybe getting you back up, but I'm not sure that would work with us, because remember when Newcastle went down when Benitez was the manager, they kept pretty much the same players.
I think it'll be that much of a shock if we get relegated to the system, to the club, to everyone around it, that actually it won't be an immediate bounce back, even if Sean Dyche.
No, I don't think it will. And because I think Pickford will go, Iwobi will go, because they all think they're too good to be down. Calvert-Lewin, if he can prove his fitness, even.
We will be witnessing Neil play up front for us next season in the Championship.
No,
we'd be lucky to have Tom Cannon and what's the other fella's name? Ellis Sims.
Ellis Sims and Tom Cannon will absolutely play before Neil Maupay ever sets foot on a pitch if we're in the Championship next season.
So I think we'd just be, because when West Ham went down, when they were too good to go down, they kept 8-9 of the players. That won't happen with us.
I'm just
to be fair, my counter argument to that would only be, and again, I don't even want to think about us going down, but if it does,
I don't.
If we have to, I mean, one of the quote unquote bad things to happen would be we get rid of our highest paid players, which are kind of a waste of money anyway. So if anything, that clears up the wage bill in a positive side, in my personal opinion. Plus, we will actually get some players in.
I was going to say the positives, from my point of view.
Before you do, because Jeff, I think I know. Can I just say it's interesting what you're going to say, because I think I might know where you're going to go with that, Jeff. I'll just take 30 seconds if I can. It's interesting you brought that up, John. No, please. Right, I've been waiting. Like I waited while John was talking. All
right, go on.
Chris said that. That's the same concern for me. Is that we're not going to come back up. And I don't know whether there's a going concern with the business, and that it won't necessarily, we won't allow it to go into administration because there's too much money invested from Mashiri's point of view to walk away with nothing. But what concerns me is what are we going to attract? And I think I know where Jeff's going to go with this. So I'm sort of setting it up for this. But where are we going to go if we lose all these players and there's no fighting spirit? We don't have the draw, we don't have the income, and maybe we don't sell out. We don't sell the hospitality things. My concern is that we're not just going to spend a year or two, like one season and come back up, or another season and then solidify and then come back up after 2 years, like we did in the sort of 50s. What's going to happen? That's my concern too. But sorry, there you go.
So what I was basically going to say is the players who are going to get us relegated, if that's what happens,
the
players who are going to leave. The players who didn't have the heart, who didn't have the fight when the going got tough.
Which is very much all of them, to be honest,
They disappeared, right? And that's exactly my point, is I don't care if 10 of them leave or 12 of them leave or 14 of them leave. Now, you can say, oh, yeah, are Everton going to struggle to attract players? No, they're not. They're just not. There's a stadium going up over there, and players will be attracted by that. A Premier League club in the Championship, they're going to attract people. That's not a problem. I don't see attracting players to Goodison as a problem. The finances, I don't know. That's a different discussion. But after watching a gang of shitbags kicking windbags around the pitch for the last however many years, who didn't care, mercenaries, who did not have the heart and soul for the fight, if we go down and we get rid of them all and we have to build from something else and come back with fire in our belly and passion and heart and fight, and if we have to start with some of the younger players, bring Branthwaite back off loan, bring
the thing is, though, with Branthwaite, just not say I'm not playing in the Championship because he now believes he's a level above that. I'm sure he does.
Well, that's up to us to sell it to him. I mean, like I say, I'm only giving I'm giving a positive counter argument, because we can sit here and be I'm sitting here and I'm trying to say that, like, yeah, people call me negative, and I'm not.
Realist.
I'm just a realist. Yeah, I call balls and strikes like I see them.
Yeah.
And I've watched this team of shitbags get us into this situation.
An
and
American sports reference. Wow, well done, Jeff.
I know. Thank you.
Jeff, I think you make a really good point, Jeff.
So basically, like, to just finish what I was saying there. Sorry, I'm doing the famous "let me finish" thing. Sorry.
No. You're fine. Go on.
Well, just basically what I want to say
We're all on the
is
same page, pretty much, I think. But
I want to see an Everton team on the pitch that I can be proud to support, and I haven't seen that for quite some time. I have for a long time. And if going down is what makes us find the heart for the fight that we've been lacking for so long, the complacency, the sort of entitlement of, well, we're Premier League, so, we just need to turn up and we're just Premier League. Like that, that's exactly the cancer that's come into this club. And sometimes you need to burn it all down before new stuff can grow. And so to me, I see that. But no, I'm not sure of it either. But after watching 30 years of miserable football, failing to be a competitive team, failing to be anything other than bang average, is it really the end of the world if we're going to play in a different division? Is it any worse than watching us lose every week?
Yeah, because of commercial stuff. But remember when Villa went down, Jack Grealish stayed, didn't he, for the whole year? And he stayed for like 2 years, I think, and then got them back up. And then he left for Manchester City. If you remember a few years ago, Everton won something called the Liverpool Senior Cup, and they played a team called Prescott Cables in the final. And, that was the first thing I'd seen us win since 1995. Yeah. And not single one of those players from either that team or any of David Undwert's Premiership 2, I think it's called, winning teams ever made the first team, did they?
Why?
No.
So I don't think we can rely on, because what's his name? Stanley Mills, who's like that fella's, what's the fella played for Manchester City and whatever? It's his son, isn't it? We've had what's his name? I can't remember. You know what I mean? And all the ones who were doing well. Like, I'm not sure, there's a huge drop off because, from playing under 21 football to playing championship football and trying to win, because a few of our players have gone on loan here, there and everywhere. And if we tried, and remember with Nottingham Forest this season, they might stay up now and hope to God they don't, but they bought like about 21 players. If we lose like 7 or 8 players, how are you going to gel a team together? Having to buy,
I'm going to come in on this
12
and say, just talking about if we did get relegated, you're talking about recruitment. Yeah, we lose 12, 14 players. Okay, let's just say that happens. What standard of player we were buying? We're not going to be able to afford being relegated and already having no pot to piss in. We're not going to be able to suddenly start buying Premier League standard players who are willing to take a drop back.
No way.
Maybe, hang on, let me finish, please, John. Players on the fringes at Premier League clubs that aren't getting through. Shut up, you guys! I can see your faces want to say something. All of you
didn't say a word.
We're not going to get players at Premier League clubs who are maybe on the fringes, on good money, who are willing to drop down into the Championship to play for the name Everton and to try and get us back up. I can't see us doing that because we don't have the money.
Burnley did it.
James Garner wouldn't have come this year in that situation.
Burnley did it. They went down. They got rid of most of their squad. They brought in a whole load of new players, most of them young, most of them unheard of, most of them for tiny fees.
Jeff, that's not the point I was making. The point I was making was we're not going to go out and start signing Premier League quality players because we haven't got the money and they're not going to drop down a division. They're not going to Everton.
Define Premier League quality because the players that are on our books are supposedly Premier League players.
Okay, let's not nitpick. We're not going to sign.
No. He's got a valid point, Ryan. He's got a valid point.
Let me finish the point I'm making, and then you can come in on it. Let me finish. We haven't got the money to go and start buying £15 million player who maybe plays a top 10 club or even any club in the league and bring them in and say, drop down a year and we'll pay your wages. We don't have the money to pay the wages and try and get us back up. But we're also not going to then invest in championship quality players, are we? And go and spend a load of money on championship players to
I
only
think we'd
then
have no
hopefully.
choice.
That's an assumption based on your negative views of
How can we
Everton
go?
recruitment. I know, but hang on. What I was
How
going to say
can we
is,
get?
what I was going to say is, if you just wait and let me finish this one, we just brought in the head of recruitment from.
Unnecessary. Be fair. Come on, go on, Jeff.
Who did that?
Right. So we've just brought in because if you pay attention to the stuff that's going on in the background, we just brought in literally about 2 months ago the guy who was the head of scouting for Brighton.
It was Southampton, wasn't it, I thought?
No. That was the head of scouting for Brighton. Now we've just brought in the head of recruitment from Southampton as well.
Yeah.
So basically, changes are going on behind the scenes. So to say that we can't do anything and we won't be able to do this and that and the other is an assumption based on the past record. And it's a fair assumption because we have done some really poor stuff in the background over the last few years. But we brought in new people for the reason of, because I think they knew that relegation was a possibility. But by getting rid of all of these overpaid players who've got us in the situation we're in and bringing in players who are hungry to get better, and then if we can get promoted back up again, then our budget goes up and we've got a new stadium and we can easily attract players. So we don't need to attract amazing players. We need to attract people who can play for the badge, people who
can I carry
have
on from
enough
that?
quality. Enough quality to actually compete in the
Finish your
championship.
point, and you turned it back in a different direction from what I was going to say. What I was going to say was that the recruitment process will be, I want Premier League players to drop down to try and get us back up into the league, but we're not going to have that money.
You're assuming that.
No,
that's assuming that. I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. That's an assumption you're making. But why would it be?
Well, we're not going to go inside. We're not going to go and spend a load of money on championship players to only then get promoted and have no money to and have to go and buy another squad again. So what the point I'm making is, who are we signing? What is the target market? We're not getting the Premier League quality. We haven't got the money for the Premier League quality. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting relegated. And we're not going to go and spend a load of millions on championship players to then get promoted.
We've overpaid. We had squad bloats, right? We had a glut of positions in glut of players in multiple positions that were vying for the same ability, but weren't of recognizable top tier quality. So we had all this. We had a glut of players that were incapable of pushing us to be where we want us to be, which is top half of the table at the very least, right? And challenging to break into Europe. Now we got rid of Richarlison, we got rid of Anthony Gordon. They didn't want to put a shift in. We had Andre Gomez.
Richarlison and Gordon kept us up between them and Pickford last season in Awobi, didn't he?
Oh boy.
Yeah. But what I mean by that is that we didn't replace Richarlison. We're not in a financial situation. If we go down to the Championship, I'm not saying it's going to do us any good, but I'm trying to find the silver lining. I'm like polishing a turd here.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to say that it could go horribly wrong.
If we go down,
if we just sit here and just sort of say, "Oh, it's the end of the world. If we go down, we're going to go down 3 divisions and all of that." It's like.
But if we go down,
that's just the ultimate negative. It's like turning a negative into like 3 negatives, and it's just like I've got to retain some optimism. I've got to retain some
following the model Sunderland, Villa, and Manchester City, Newcastle, who all went down. Those levels all followed, and they got lucky because the financial issues weren't quite as serious then as they are now.
Knowing we'll get a 15-point deduction next season at the start of the Championship season. And
I don't think we'll get that. But the point is, like Victor Gyarides, where his name is at Coventry, is not going to come to Everton if they're relegated into the same division as Coventry are in.
We can't even attract them when we're in the Premier League.
So what I was going to say is, if we go down, what we need to do is we need to attract the kind of players. It doesn't matter whether they're Premier. Okay, the issue is it doesn't matter. There's no clear delineation of these are Premier League quality players and these aren't.
It's a fine line.
Grow, right? And also just because they play in a championship, they're limited to that pool for the period of time that team is stuck in there. They could still be good players that could have a place in Premier League team. Now, if we get the
signed
kind of
Tim
players,
Cahill from the Championship.
yeah, from Millwall, if we get the kind of players that can push on and can show that sort of determination and fight, and then Everton come back, then we are going to have a team of determined players that might be somewhat lacking in skill potentially, but then when we do target players with smart targeting, because we've overpaid. Look at Moise Keane. Look at the players that we've signed. We pissed away £50 million on Sigurdsson, who turned up half the time. You know, we've overpaid so many times through poor recruitment and throwing money at the wrong players that we should have done.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at that. Must have been Ryan posting that, because that's hilarious.
When Julian Lescott, Tim Cahill and Leighton Baines and others came, I don't know whether Wigan had been relegated when Baines came. I don't think they had. But when was the last time we looked down the pyramid of English football and like polished a diamond or a tear?
When was the last time we looked at Brazil, South America?
Tunas More.
We did actually look at a couple of players in the Brazilian league, actually, Jeff. We couldn't get them. A couple of players in the Brazilian league, like under 20 strikers.
We brought in somebody. That's his job, is to find gold. Like that's what he did at Brighton. That's how they've found some of these players that they've got, who ended up winning the World Cup and cost £4 million, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, why not cultivate a relationship that we had with Barcelona, where we're getting some young players, like 2 or 3 young players come over on loan?
I don't want Barcelona cast up.
I'm rolling the dice here and saying there are multiple options. We don't need to go out and overpay and play and think we deserve to be in the Premier League. We need to change the mentality. We need to do smart recruitment.
Exactly.
We need to push up through the youths, through the youth team. We need to find the right kind of players that are going to be hungry to push us on to the Premier League if we do go down.
Exactly.
And then if we get promoted, then we have a draw, because for God's sake, there's going to be big players who think, shit, I can play in the Premier League, or I want to play for Everton to be the big team, to be the talisman, to push them on, because I'm better than the team that they've got and we can push up the league. Fingers crossed. I don't know.
But the thing, that would be true. But you remember when we looked in January for Dan Juma and what was the other fellow who went to Bournemouth? None of them would come to us, would they? If you had the choice between newly promoted Everton in 2 years' time or Championship Everton in 1 year's time and going to like Bournemouth or like Leicester or whoever might get above us, or Leeds, you know, there's no like choice for the player and his agent, is there? Because, you know, I think Everton are the biggest club in the world because I was lucky enough to see the 80s and all that. But like, you know, to somebody who looks at the like league table when they're sitting in their apartment in, you know, in Slovakia or whatever, you know, I don't know who's 18th in the German league, but, you know, you wouldn't, you know, particularly if you had the choice between them and somebody who was a bit more like higher up, you'd probably take it, wouldn't you? Because history, in this case, I don't think will save us on standing.
Like I said, I just think if you look at that stadium that's going up in the dock, and if you're a young player with ambition who sees like Everton as your route to the big time, because, you know, it's an opportunity. It's one of those, if you've got the right mindset, and that's the whole point, is I don't want to attract players who are coming because of the big wages or because of the name of the club. I want players who are coming because they've got ambition, who want to improve, who see an opportunity to be part of something special. That's what I want. I want players who are coming to play for Everton because it's their first choice, not because it's like...
We won't get them. We really won't. But you know what? I'm going to throw something out there. I've got to finish
point of the recruitment. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm going to throw something out there. Do you know what? I've got to go in a minute, but do you know what will happen to the stadium at Bramley Moor if we go down?
Nothing.
Don't say it'll be sold to Liverpool.
No, it's going to
Liverpool will buy it, yeah.
No, they won't.
They will.
No, they won't.
I don't think that's yeah, I don't know.
That's the stadium will be getting finished and it will be
No. John, I do want to move on. I want to get John real quick before we let you go. Score prediction for tomorrow, mate.
I'd love to be optimistic, and you know, I genuinely believe we you know, beat Fulham and this wouldn't be where we are. But I've got an awful feeling that we'll lose. It'll all come down to Leicester. And, I think, unfortunately, we're going to lose narrowly tomorrow, like 1-2, something like that. And Leicester will be just the biggest, not a 6-pointer, but biggest 9, 12, 15-pointer you can ever imagine.
Fair enough, John. Thanks for coming on, mate. We hope to.
All right, thank you. I enjoyed speaking to you anyway. Great show anyway.
Thanks, buddy, very much. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, John. Thanks for coming on.
My God, what's the positivity on here? What's going on?
I don't know. What's happened?
The world has shifted on its axis, and Jeff's the one who's like slightly positive. Like,
you did answer my question in the end, though, and all I was saying was, who do we go for? Because it's like we're not going to sign Premier League players in the Championship.
I don't want us to sign Premier League players, though. That's the whole point. I don't. I really don't.
We're also not going to sign your classic Championship player to be really good in that division and then get to Premier League. And we haven't got the cap. We've got no money, Jeff. We haven't got any money now. We're going to have even less money. So who the hell are we signing? We're not getting top Championship players. We're not getting Premier League players.
Financial fair play, profit and sustainability only applies to the Premier League.
No, you can have a £5 million loss. £5 million loss in the Championship, Jan. It's even lower than the Premier League. It's 100 lower.
Is everyone shouting so loudly? Just talking.
Everyone's so fucking pissed off. I know. All I'm saying is we've got no money now. So what type of boss are we going for?
People are making assumptions based on no knowledge whatsoever. Right? They're based on no knowledge whatsoever. It's like, we're not going to be able to sign anyone at this, that. And it's like, you have absolutely no clue that that's true. You're assuming it based on reports that you've heard off the ESC and other people like this. And we don't know that's actually a fact. We've got an investors lined up to come into the club. We don't know what's going to happen about that. We've got... How many players are on massive wages who are probably going to be leaving the club? Players who are going to get sold for reasonable amounts of money. So the idea that we're just going to go down and then we're going to buy like dog shit players from the Vauxhall Conference and
no one said any of that.
No one said any of that. It's like
I don't have a clue. I'm just saying we're not going to sign players. Top Premier League players. No, I said we're not going to sign.
Yeah, but I don't want to sign Premier League players. I don't want to sign Premier League players.
I'm not saying that you want to sign them. I'm saying who are we going to go for? Because we're not going to go the top Premier League players. And we're not going to waste a load of money. Because I can't get my point across. I can't get my point across.
You could just talk in a normal voice, mate.
Well, stop interrupting me then. I want to make my point. I want to make my point. We're not going to go and buy Premier League players in the Championship. We couldn't buy Premier League players when we were in the Premier League. So who are we going for? What type of player are we going for with no money? We're not going to even get the best players in the Championship, Jeff. We can't afford them. So we're going to get either youth product players. That's the point I was asking you. Who are we going for? You answered the question
going
before.
For up and coming like players. That's the whole point. That's the positive angle. There's
the answer. Right. Thank you.
No, but that's the whole point. I don't want us to go and sign Premier League players. That's the whole point. We've had a roster of. See, I'm using the Americanisms tonight because Chris is on. But we've got a roster full of shitbags who've been in the Premier League for years, and where are we? Like, buying Premier League quality supposedly doesn't get you fuck all. Buying players with ambition and hunger and desire, that's what we actually need. If we're going to actually come back, we need to build from something more solid than just signing people because they've got Premier League experience. We've done this. So many times we've done this. We spent money overpaid on players who, because they did quite well in the Premier League, and we've ended up spending 45, 50 million, 30 million, 120 grand a week on players who just don't deliver. They just don't deliver. They haven't delivered. And year after year, we've got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So the model clearly doesn't work. And so I don't want us to go out and sign Premier League players. I want us to go and sign up-and-coming players who haven't got the scars on them, who haven't got an expectation of much money they've got to earn and how many Ferraris they have to buy. I want to buy players who are coming to achieve something, who have ambition. And so that's, to me, is that would be my plan for it, is like sign the next big player, not the aging superstar who just doesn't care enough to play with heart week in, week out. Like, if Brighton can do it, why can't we?
We wouldn't be going for these players anyway. That's the point of making it. Even Premier League or not, we haven't got the finances to do that. There has to be a market for some players that want to come. And are the best up-and-coming young players going to want to join Everton in the Championship? And where are we getting the money to sign them from? Or is it going to be a lot of the young players?
But that's an assumption, though, isn't it? It's like, it's an assumption based on stuff you've heard, but you don't know for 100% fact. Like I said, we're going to be selling players. If Pickford leaves, if you know, Holgate might go out the door, like all these players might leave, that's money coming into the club. You know, it doesn't need a large amount of investment because we've got some good young players and we've got some good professionals that we can build a squad upon. So we don't need to go out and buy 10 or 15 players. We might need to buy like 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, and we might have to introduce some of the young players. I don't know. Does it have to be straight back up after one season? Can't we actually just have a plan?
Said in the report, build
something.
It said in that report that where they released the accounts,
go to bed.
They had to have. There was like 1 year where we had, but effectively we had to come back in 1 year or something.
Yeah, but that's again according to some guy in the newspaper who says it because he's aired it off so and so and blah blah blah.
It was in the actual thing, wasn't it? It was the auditors who said that they couldn't see past it 1 year or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides the point.
That's just giving an assurance as a going concern.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to blood a load of kids next season. That's how I see it. I don't think we're gonna have the money.
You heard it first from Ryan. The only way that Everton will survive is if we sacrifice a load of children.
Oh no.
No, it's gonna be Tom Cannon, Sims, and Brantford, and all of them. And if they're good enough to get us up, then so be it. And if not, cutting the cloth. The thing that's annoying is who clubs are going to hold us to ransom as well for like players. They're not going to give us the money we want.
Be daft. Don't be daft. There's not some orchestrated. I mean, although it might seem like at the times, there's not some orchestrated screw Everton over. Like if we offer decent money for a player, you know, and we don't have to do that. Go to France. Go to Germany. You don't have to go to sort of just. You know, or elsewhere in Eastern Europe, or go. I don't know what you're on about. Like, I mean, we could have.
I'll just read Jana's comments. She's trolling an old fella.
Right, but we could have got João Moutinho for a relatively decent price, and he's gone to Watford? No, Wolves. Where was it? He went.
What? We could have had him 10 years ago under Moyes. We bid 10 million when he was at Porto. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now, those kind of obviously there's some inflation there when you go, but that's the kind of recruitment that we should have done. I mean, we could have got Virgil van Dijk, but we at some point and paid a decent price for him. We could have got so many players, and I'm not saying that we can't. I'm saying that we can't if we don't change the recruitment. But as Jeff's pointed out, we've got the scouting and the recruitment players from the right kind of place who know what's best for our situation, rather than going out there or having somebody pulling the strings going, I want this player, I want this manager. And then they know that because it's coming from on somebody who's got the waving the checkbook going, I want him, right? Of course they're going to go, oh, give us the money then. Come on.
I think Stephen's agreeing with it. All I wanted to say was we're not going to buy Championship players to try and get in the Prem, and we're not going to buy Premier League players because we haven't got the cash to give them big wages. It's not worked for us. And Jeff, you've answered the question. We're going to get young up and coming players who want to progress and develop us. Hopefully we get promoted. Where we're going to find them, I don't know. But I think
Bob says, right, back down the pizza and go to bed. Her words.
I do need to go, and actually feel a little bit sorry for poor Dominic Christopher Lewin, who is I don't know whether he's got a little bit of a popcorn and enjoying it secretly, but he's the epitome of
Absolutely
professionalism in the
loving it.
corner.
Please, no one ever feel sorry for me.
There. 3.5 hours on the stream, and it's his baby tonight. So
this is why we're here. We've had great comments. We've had great interactions. We've had great viewership. We had a hell of an argument, which will be clipped and permanently put on our channel. And it's been great. So not only should you not feel sorry, we should be glad that we did it. And I think that it's great that we can have those kind of conversations and come out of it the way that we have. I mean, do you have anything to add to it, or are we kind of past it? Okay, right. Ryan's done.
I don't. Just wanted to know what the plan was for next season, recruitment-wise.
The
plan at this point, because I've seen a couple comments saying, you guys are already conceded that we're down. Well, I'm less optimistic than I was, especially a couple of weeks ago. The fact of the matter is we're still in the Premier League. It's still in our hands, and we still have a game tomorrow. So I'm trying to stay optimistic and positive going into that, because all of you lot are going to the game. So, try to enjoy it at least for the first 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
What's the routine? As a matter of fact, we never talk about this. I have
try to enjoy the urethroscope.
Oh boy, that escalated quickly. What's the routine in terms of before the game? Where do you go? Where do you eat? What do you have? Some people have a set routine every single game that they do. Do you guys have that or no?
Hot walk.
Hot walk. Okay, I've been there.
Well, since my brother decided that he has no time for anything, as you will see, never on the channel. He always wants to turn up, and my dad, who we go with all the time, the two of them, they want to turn up literally as Z Cars is coming out. So we don't tend to do anything apart from literally. I mean, to be fair, when it was just me and David before my dad Lawrence got the season ticket last season, we'd run across Stanley Park just about to make kickoff. I mean, me and David would barely make kickoff every game. They just want to tip up. They're not asked about the pre-match ritual.
Give their tickets to people who want to be there.
I would like to go a little bit early. I used to like to watch the warm-up and that kind of thing. But for me, there isn't anything. Oh, fuck off, Jasmine. Sent me $1.99 of her own money to go.
Yeah, get in. Channel's making money. Love it.
I have to pay for that in some way.
Thank you, Jazz,
for the donation. I pay for that YouTube Premium account. That she's fucking messaging me on downstairs.
Love it.
Right. Well, I'm going to drag Jeff. I'm going to drag Jeff there quite early tomorrow so that we can be there for the coach.
Yeah, and I'm gonna speak to David and Jazz and Mabs and see if they want to come earlier as well and meet you and whatever.
I mean,
plenty
Jeff,
of pictures and videos will follow.
Yeah, mate.
Jeff, do you want to? Any chance you fancy getting like a late bus back if you're parking? If you're being at here, so we can go over and have a few bevs. Oh no, because you've got to drive. Oh fucking hell!
I'm actually going to get in trouble if I don't go.
What do you mean? Jazz is one of our better chat contributors right now. Why would you get in trouble? She's having the time of her life.
She literally sent us $1.99. She's literally funding the thing. I can't remember the last time anyone sent us any money.
Probably 2 hours ago when Jazz also sent us $1.99. So that's our second donation of the day.
Right, I'm definitely going to bed.
All right, mate. Thanks for jumping on. That was fun. We'll speak soon.
Good night, Jeff. Jan, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
He's pissing herself laughing downstairs.
Say hello.
I'm going to Prague.
Yeah, we're moving to Prague. Absolutely moving to Prague.
I'm going to cuddle my teddy bear in bed and cry.
When I was at university, there was a girl who was. When you say going to Prague, it just reminded me. When I was at university, there was a girl who lived on one of the corridors with some of my friends in the halls of residence who used to get so pissed off, like she didn't necessarily have a right sense of humor. She was a nice girl, right? But when she used to get so pissed off, she'd decide, right, that's it, and she'd just go and disappear for like the weekend and go to Chester, and it became a running joke of like, how pissed off are you on a scale of 0 to going to Chester?
Right. That's pretty good. We've got.
Probably...
I want to put this. Well, never mind. I better not. I had a good tweet from Amy. I thought about putting up. Amy's gonna have pyros and face paint tomorrow. So if you see Amy, be sure to have a picture with her, and we'll just.
I do want face paint.
Do us a favor, message her and tell us not to burn any of me fucking clothing, please.
I will pass along the message.
The end of last season, I got some pyro stuff like burn in my ear. Some of it landed like right in my ear and burnt it. And ever since then, I've always had like this for months afterwards. I always had this bit that was like constantly scabbing over, and it's horrible.
Proving Jeff's point, I think I have a couple of friends who still have not. They have a bunch of blue smoke that were on their shoes from the Palace game, and they have not washed any of those clothes, which I think is kind of funny. We've had good times. Oh man, it's dire. It's dire. I think we're gonna wrap on that one. We're on for 3.5 hours now, and we're just kind of going in circles with. But it's a big one tomorrow. Obviously, that goes without saying. The match. Remind me of the time tomorrow. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. Is it 7:45? Okay, so I'll be on around 6:45. Then when the team news comes out, I might be solo. I might have Dave Weston joining me. We are not sure yet, but we will be on a little bit early. Probably won't be for the full hour. It'll probably just be a quick team news, maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Because, again, every single point that we would make, you've already heard 1,000 times. We have to win. We have to turn up. We have to show fight, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we appreciate everyone who's joined us. Like, if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already to the Follow Everton page, both on Twitter and on YouTube. My personal page is at Real Domino Chris, both on the same. And you can find all of my mates here on Twitter as well. Jan's he's got a pet. He's got a teddy bear. We're going full cuddles tonight, which is just a fantastic way to end it. Boys, I appreciate you being on. That was one of our more lively and fun streams we've had recently. So it makes for good banter and content. Anything else to say? Quick score predictions, because you'll be at the game. So give it to me real quick. Head prediction and a heart prediction.
No.
Jeff's not falling for the bait. Okay, Jan, you give me something then.
Could go either way. I mean, we could really capitulate and lose by a large margin. Head prediction says that Newcastle could get 2 goals in the first half quite easily. We'd come out and fight and only get a 1 goal and lose 2-1. Heart prediction wants to say we scrap it out and get 1 or 2 goals. We get 1 goal that looks scrappy, we hang on and then get another one. That'd be lovely. But
so that's a perfect way to end it, because we always provide you the dynamite analysis. Jan, what will it be like? Well, I think we could win, draw, or lose. Okay. And on that note, we will catch you next time on Follow Everton.
Ask for head and heart.
See you tomorrow. Up the toffees.
Up the toffees. Bye.